says it's streaming.
Give it a few minutes to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm watching both of them. I'm watching your YouTube and your.
Did it come up on either one? Let me know which either one comes up.
YouTube, your Twitch is up right now.
Okay.
Let me go to your YouTube right now. Check your YouTube. Is live. Got 2 live See me type to you on YouTube.
Okay. Go for it. Okay, you said hi. So it is streaming.
Yeah, your YouTube is doing perfect.
Okay. Yay.
Understand why you're on my screen. It's saying that your kick is not live.
Oh, wow. It's weird. But you're able to chat in it.
Let me look on my phone. I don't understand that. Yeah, it's check on your phone or whatever. And
Okay.
see. You are definitely not live. You're definitely not live on Kick.
That's weird.
Which don't worry about that. Go ahead and have fun. We'll
Oh,
figure it
yeah.
out.
No worries.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, but your YouTube looks good. Up, there it goes. There it goes. It
Finally.
just went live.
It's
Man,
slow
dude,
as
man,
hell.
Man, dude, that is
Lazy.
major delay.
Lazy. A lazy ass.
That's a major delay, dude.
Yeah.
What?
It's a lazy app.
Been up 2 whole minutes.
That's a dang on shame.
Yeah, so there must be some type of delay or something.
Yeah. I wonder what it could be.
I don't know. I'll have to look into it though.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, spawning the Aurora. Welcome to Robert Space Industries.
System check.
Let's see who's out there. Oh damn, that's a Guardian. Oh, they're fighting or something. No, he's
Now,
not
where can we-
hostile.
You're really gonna pull the Aurora.
Say again.
You're really gonna pull the Aurora out.
Pull what out?
I said the Aurora.
Oh yeah.
That's
Embarrass
your girl right
some
there.
people. Yeah, embarrass some people. What? No, he didn't. He's not hostile. I'm just gonna see. Not trying. I'm just following him, seeing what he's gonna do.
I know, like when I get the joystick set up, I want to. Yeah, that's so weird because on my phone you're live, but on the website you're not.
That's weird. On the phone, I am.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Oh wow, that's maybe. Do I need to? What about the URL? Is it the same as OBS's?
Everything as soon as you logged into it should have went boop, and
Yeah.
you're good to go.
That's weird.
No, it's definitely not that.
I send it 07. No hostiles, it seems. He's not hostile. He's not firing on me. Return to simulation.
I don't know about all that, man. I think his Twitch looks better than his YouTube.
Oh, the Twitch looks better. Or is it you mean
Yeah.
the YouTube looks better?
He's saying your YouTube looks better than Twitch.
Okay. so he's not firing.
Kick is a streaming platform that actually streams.
Oh,
I stream to it. Yeah, I got your YouTube channel up, Andrew.
nice. Yeah, I'm just circling around him, and he's like,
Pick a button, taking names.
taking names. Who's this guy? He said, make a move.
I'm sorry to tell you, Kimmy, but that shit right there will chew the Aurora up, dude.
You think so?
You see how big-
Don't
you see
even
how
get me
big that
started,
thing is?
man. Don't even bait me.
Pull the trigger then, Kimmy. Pull the trigger.
Oh, check fire. Uh-oh, it's on now. I said, check fire. What? He's like, who's... What you done? What you gonna do, big boy? I ain't scared of you. He's just...
You ain't even hurting him.
Nice. I don't think it's anyone in there, man. It's abandoned. Oh crap, it's abandoned. Look, nobody's in there. You see the seat is empty.
Yeah. It's a ghost AI, man. You got that ship?
Yeah. The Guardian? Yeah.
It's got quantum drive, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
We should
The heavy
go on down
fighter.
into that ATS or whatever place all by itself, man.
See, I put Gatlings on this thing. You see how it's lighting things up?
You got the pyro guns, didn't you?
Yes, I do. I need to load them up.
No, right. I've never used mine. We need to go get military components and all that. I got military components. You got a Zeus or anything?
Zeus, no, I did not get the Zeus.
Okay. No Zeus.
Huh?
What's your daily flyer?
The Zeus. It probably would be the Aurora.
Well, I mean, I don't. I'm sorry, I can't consider the Aurora a
Ah.
daily flyer kid with all the ships you got. Come on, man.
I know,
You
but
gotta pick a better
you,
ship than that, bro.
you know what it was? That was the initiation of Star Citizen for me.
Unknown ghost.
That was the ship that did it for me.
You gotta have a better daily.
A better daily.
Yeah, come on.
That means I would have to look. I had to go into a library and look and see who is what is
I
what.
sent it, said something to you, brother. My daily flyer is my Zeus.
Zeus.
Yeah, and then my second daily flyer is my Rambler. When I'm just trying to cruise along.
Yeah. Oh, Ascenda's making sense. He's talking about what he mentioned this the other day. You know, that Polaris that was floating in this just in the air, and he mentioned free fly. That's probably what's going on with a lot of people. They get frustrated because they don't know what's going on and they just leave the ship. Or how about this? Better yet, they're in one ship and they're looking at a library of ships. Oh, wait a minute, let me try that ship. And they literally jump from that ship and jump to the other one. It could be them and a few friends on at the same time, and they say, hey man, check this ship out. Oh man, I gotta try that one. But let's see what's going on. Yeah, and look, we see the results now of the free fly. Look, that queue is long. But yeah, that Guardian more than likely, Iceland is definitely a free fly. Because we don't really abandon our ships like that. We take care of them. We do, for the most part. Now that I think about it, pirates, reefers, I don't know if really say that word, but PvPers, pirates, they fight a lot in their ships, so it is what it is. But for the most part, we as players of the game understand what these ships mean to us. You just don't fly that kind of ship and just leave it out there like that. You just don't. That's a red flag right there. Oh, somebody playing it for free. It's not theirs. It's a loaner.
Sorry, I had to walk away for a minute.
Oh, all good, man. Okay, I'm back to Q12 from 53.
Yeah, I think it's time to.
Oh, the torpedoes. Yeah, they'll spin them. Yeah, I can see that happening. All right, here we go.
So Kimmy, what is your ideal of a daily flyer? Like, what would you need in a ship to say, hey, this is going to be my daily flyer?
I think in context of default base ships, you're moving cargo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like you're moving cargo where? Let's say, you live in the city. You're going to have a small cargo ship. You live out in the outskirts or the frontier. It's more industrial based. But I think the flatline default for a ship would be a cargo ship. And you're just running errands, basically. Making trades, making deals. If you want to approach it like that, yeah. If you want to approach the game from that perspective, where it's the basics of basics, and you're going into the game with just the mindset of, okay, I just need to, interact, contact, make some money, go here, go there, go through a routine. Of course, you have bases, right? Bases are in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the default for a daily would be a cargo running ship, right? It's non-specific, right? But it's still your baseline for, you're not. It just flies you there, man. You just unload, grab cargo, move it around, make your money, and then you tuck it in and you're done for the day. Right? And now from there it gets different. It gets specific. Whether you're salvage or you're running, you're doing mining, and I think at some point repair and all these other things that's going to come online. But yeah, I think the default is going to be cargo because it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. I don't really, when I'm looking at a daily flyer, I look at what can the ship offer me while I'm out,
Mm-hmm.
So what's necessities? Food,
Yeah.
bathroom,
A bed.
Yeah, bed, right? Place to shower, storage to store your extra clothing, maybe some extra weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm looking at a daily flyer, that's pretty much what I look for, little bit of cargo, you know what I mean, just in case you need to make a few dollars, you know what I mean.
Yep.
But there's quite a few like your you know, your daily flyer is the Prospector.
Oh, ouch.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's not
I
a
might.
bad ship, bro.
It's not a bad
Come
ship.
on, man. Come on, man. That thing's clean.
It's specific, right? It's specific. It does certain things that I want it to do, and it gets down to, I think when we get our bases, you know, I don't think bases will just be enough. I think you need to have storerooms or warehouses, and that's where CIG can make money. I think, you know, that's something you should purchase, right? Let's say it's maybe in the ranges of $5 to $50, maybe, or $10 to $50. I'm talking about $50 is like for that super deluxe, huge, you know, 10,000 square foot type of deal, right? People buying them up like crazy.
Right.
And if you're talking about Star Citizens, look at the free flight people. You're talking about Star Citizens got to be to the point where, you know, people are saying, how does it sustain itself, right? That's
Look
how.
at this,
That's
man.
one part of it. Yeah. You see all these people?
I send it. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, brother. I send it said he's having a hard time picking between the Zeus or the Asgard. I'm personally, in my mindset, I can't consider the Asgard a whenever I'm
daily
talking
runner?
about daily driver, I'm talking it's just you and the verse. Now, you know, anybody can consider any ship their daily flyer, you know what I
Right.
mean? All of us got lots and lots and lots of ships, but my daily driver is, if I had to really pick, it would be my Ramble.
Okay. You know what? I think I see the one for me that falls into that category better now. And it's got that all around feel to it. I would say it would be the Mercury Star Runner.
Okay, it's perfect, dude. Right?
Exactly.
I mean,
Yep.
that right there hits the spot.
That's it right
You know what
there.
I'm saying? It has an area for you to carry a vehicle.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's the same thing as the Zeus. You know.
Yeah.
I think the
it
Zeus
is.
could fit the Jeep in it. You know what I mean? I mean,
Okay.
you're not going to be able to fit any of the bigger vehicles, but I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is, right?
I think it sounds like we're kind of on the fly defining what a daily runner is. And it's okay to, you know, that when you're a kid, they say, go ahead and use this coloring book, but don't go outside the lines. And I think we're finding in this conversation, we're finding out if we're going across the line or not, but it's okay because we're discovering it. In other words, we're the kids that are having that first encounter with a coloring book, right? And so there's really no wrong or right, but it's just how you define certain things and how you see things. But then in that perspective, each person can kind of say, I agree, disagree, but it doesn't mean that it defines what a daily runner is. Like you said, to
Right.
your point, everybody has their opinion on one. But I think as we talk, we can almost come to a point of saying, is it defined by this or is it defined by that? And the way that I'm seeing it now, I'm beginning to understand it, is like it's non-specific, meaning
Yep.
it doesn't have this one distinction that says that's a mining ship or that's a salvage ship. It's got to be a thing where it looks like a spaceship, but it can accommodate and kind of adapt to certain things, right? But not everything, because then you're if you color outside the lines, then you're calling it a salvage ship or you're calling it a mining ship, right? That's
Right.
coloring outside the line of the coloring book. But if you stay inside that coloring book line, then you have these variations. That is the Cutter, you have the Zeus, you have the Mercury Star Runner, you have the CL-1, the origin ship, you have the Aurora, you have the Mustang. All of a sudden, they're falling inside the lines, right? And it's, again, it's not to say, because I'm saying this, I define what that is. I'm just saying, in my perspective, this is me understanding it better according to my opinion.
Whenever I'm looking at a daily driver, I look at it as I'm going to other systems, just vacationing.
Or letting the situation happen and you can adapt to it based on what you're flying.
Yeah, like if
It's
you're
versatile.
yeah, so let's use the Cutter versus the Zeus. If you had
Cutter.
the Zeus,
Okay, Cutter.
and you broke down in a system, life support would probably last longer, water supply would last longer, but if you got into a ship like the Cutter, it's gonna, and I'm looking at it as an RV standpoint, the black and gray water tanks are going to be smaller, the water tank's going to be smaller, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just one of them things. Like, I look at it, how long can it accommodate me if something goes wrong? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of times that I broke down on a planet and had to wait 15, 20 minutes and for a friend to come get me.
Yeah.
So
The Pisces. I
right,
seen it said the Pisces
I
are a good
100%
one.
agree.
Yeah, it falls
100%
in
agree,
there.
dude. That's absolutely one of the greatest ships the Star Citizens
It
ever
flies.
made.
It flies incredibly nice.
Right.
And I think they even went one step ahead with. Now I'm talking about the flight only with the rescue. I'm like, man, they're knocking it out.
What's
But
your favorite ground vehicle?
yeah, I gotta say I like the Nursa. Gotta say I
Is it-
respect it. Yeah,
Is that the medical one?
yeah, the medical one.
I like the new one, the one that I
Oh,
said that I
yeah.
wasn't gonna buy. And I bought it and fell in love with it.
But
But I can't carry it in my Zeus though, so
I know.
there's my downfall.
and I was about to say it made it. They made the footprint that it can accommodate a lot more ships than compared to the Ursa Rover. And how it moves and it's compact. And I'm thinking, is it like the Ursa Rover or the Nursa? And you say there's some slight differences. But then I also like that other one that it's, even though it's open air, but it has the turret in the back and the missiles.
Oh, I know which one.
The
you're
green one? Yeah. Yeah.
I have a pack. I have a pack where I bought it and it's green. I got the green
Yes.
Mercury Star Runner with that ship.
Yep. And here's
And-
another one. It's not out yet. The G12. That thing, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's black.
Right.
It comes in black.
Right. I normally carry mines in my Carrack, but I also have a Polaris. So I have multiple ways of carrying that vehicle, but vehicle-wise, I think I like that Jeep the best.
Yeah, it's open air. That's the only thing that would say take it or leave it. But if they had a variant that was closed in, whew, my gosh, man.
I'm waiting for them to make one that has like a bed and all that in it, so you can actually get down, like have somebody drop you off, and you really do some research on planet side.
Yeah.
That would be pretty dope.
I think they're having conversations because this is one of the things that Jared Huckabee, Jared Disco Lando mentioned. He did one of the shows and they were having that Q&A or conversation about, these large vehicles that can, or kind of like what are those land speeders, those they make them in real life. They can go over water and then they can hover over land, but they're talking about on a large scale where it's like almost like a fortress or a living space inside, and you're on the ground. They're having conversations about that, and I think eventually, at some point, we're going to see things like that. Once you get on ground, you can spawn this thing.
Look at that Starfarer.
The Starfarer. Oh yeah, the Starfarer. No joke, man.
It needs some real serious love though.
Yeah, I mean, because you know why? It goes back to what they were saying about the new systems like Planetary Tech 5, and that's coming on board. But what do they say? All the locations, when they get this new Planet Tech, or they go through these optimizations or these updates with environments, every system will benefit from it because they're going to always cycle those. Now that should go back to the ships itself, the gold standard. They should follow that same pattern of, as you come up with something good or something that's standard or new standard, you should apply it to all these ships. But it's going to get harder and harder because we're looking at a lot of ships now to the extent that I don't remember them all. Or we come up with a conversation.
Right.
Wait a minute, which ship was that again? Wait a minute, you know that ship? The one that's got that scoop on it. Like, what? It's got that scoop on it, man. The one with the scoop and the missile. And we're like, what?
Right.
Let me put up the damn picture. I know the manufacturer is Anvil. Oh hell no, that's not an Anvil. It's Aegis. Right.
Yeah, I sent it is really on that Asgard, man.
You gotta have it.
So I mean, the as many times as he brought it up so far, I think he should just do it. He should just pull the trigger.
You know what? I've been there with him with that. I mean, in other words, I know what he's going through because, dude, I was so right there in the middle between the Starlancer TAC or the Anvil Asgard. And I'm saying to myself, and this is my mindset, oh man, I love me some Anvil. I love me some Anvil, right? And then I'm like, Misk is right? But then I'm like, wait a minute, are you being a hypocrite? Because you got the Misk Odyssey, you have the Misk Prospector. I'm like, wait a minute, I have a lot of Misk shit. Mirai is an off-brand of Misk. So I'm like, I'm being a hypocrite. I have the Misk Starfarer. I talked about how the Misk Reliant can be a great ship again, right? And I'm like, what? Who am I? Am I gaslighting myself here? The Misk Fortune. I'm like, come on, dude. But no, when I broke it down, the Misk Starlancer, what is it? I'm about to say Starlancer TAC. Yeah, the Misk Starlancer TAC had a lot of different things all bundled up in that one ship. Where it's a drop ship, you got you can open up the side doors, fire on things with the Gat guns. You got the turrets.
I love the sound of the Gatling guns.
Yes.
Right. Right. I'll go into my hangar and just climb up in there and just unleash.
Yeah. Yeah. But what did it for me? Rizzy, was that those med beds.
Okay.
The Asgard, I love the design. I love that fact that it's coming from Anvil. And it's saying I missed out on the Valkyrie when I wish I could have, pulled the trigger on it when it came out. But this is like this is a makeup. I said I'm sorry, but here's a Asgard for you, and it kind of makes up for that because I love those VTOLs. But at the end of the day, it was lacking, kind of like what we started our conversation with. It was that conversation of what's more of a daily if you had to compare the two between the Starlancer TAC and the Asgard. And that's what threw me over the edge of saying I gotta go with the TAC.
Well, I think they're both pretty much the same ship. It's just the Asgard can handle a lot more vehicle drops. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said,
vehicle drops.
Yeah, like you can fit bigger vehicles in it. And, I mean,
Okay.
that's really the only gain, you know. I think the tack though. I think the tack isn't for killing people on the ground. That thing's designed to kill vehicles, and I think the Asgard is built to kill people. You know, so to me, they're in the exact opposite of each other. I
Yeah.
haven't been in it, but I have dealt with the other variant. Uh, what's the other variant of the Asgard?
There's a variant for Asgard.
Yeah, I hope we're talking about the same ship.
Look
It's the drop ship. Yeah, Valk. Yep. Yeah, the
up. Oh,
Valk.
you think they're
So-
Valkyrie? They're variants? Yeah, I just mentioned the Valkyrie. I think the Valkyrie came out in 2018, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think I know why you're saying it's a variant, because the style guide they took from the library, and it's so close. You have so many similarities with those big VTOLs that rotate.
Dude,
its
that is
design
a
language.
variant, bro.
It
looks
is?
exactly. Yeah, it looks exactly like. Yeah, that is a variant of the Valkyrie, brother. It's just got a bigger hangar, brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm not gonna.
What I sent it.
I don't think you're entirely wrong, and I don't think I'm entirely wrong. But I think it's the timing of it. But yeah, you have to go back and look at, and there's no mistaking. It's no mistaking that it's like
Click
some
this.
of those pieces are like, well, that's the damn Valkyrie right there, Kimmy.
Click that, Kimmy. Click that link, brother, real quick.
Okay, I'm in. Wait, hold on. I'm in. I was about to look it up. Okay, tools. It says it. Ground vehicle capacity. Yeah, I'm.
Look what it says.
Yeah.
Serious.
There you
Valkyrie.
go. I appreciate you, man.
And I'm not trying to but
Dude,
that is
no,
that
look-
is the
okay.
Valk.
All right.
That is the Valk on steroids.
I want to clear this. If you give me things that make corrections, I don't need to be standing in the hallway of pride to say I was wrong. I'm like, what's wrong with me if I can't accept truth and be corrected? Thank you for telling me the truth and getting me clear of what is what. I respect that, man. I don't have no pride in that stuff. That stuff is, me the person. I will get out of the way of truth each and every time. Thank
Yeah.
you, and I will appreciate the truth. People run from it because it can, a lot of times it stings and people can't handle that. But hey, no pride here, man. I'm like I'm appreciative of it. There's clarity. It's just to say we're not always right, but if we can bring the truth to things and if it means the other people or the other persons bring it, then it's accepted by me, man. By all means, tell it,
Yeah.
preach.
Yeah, but
But wow, that's
also-
astounding.
I also get where you're coming from, where you feel it's a variant on its own. Because there's
think-
a lot of similarities, and at
Yeah.
first, my hands were up too. Like, is it a Valkyrie? It
Yeah.
looks like a Valkyrie.
You know what threw me
but
off?
Is it a Valkyrie?
You know what throws me off about that, and why I was
What?
saying it was not a variant? Because usually the time frame, the timing with these variants are so close together. For most part, you don't see something 7 years apart
Right.
gets done and say it's a part
Right.
of that. The other thing that was confusing, why I didn't think of it being a variant, was they always said that when they do a line of ships, they're going to look at the manufacturer. It's going to have a library of the parts and components that makes up that ship and kind of keep that language or keep that design similar, so you'll know a Toyota is a Toyota, a Ford is a Ford, a Honda is a Honda, an Acura is an Acura. You will recognize it by the brand, by its design discipline. So that's where the confusion was. But yeah, but to say immediately with all those variables, wow, that's all I got to say. Wow, yep, it's a variant of the Valkyrie series, but it fits. I mean, it makes sense. But damn, yep, that's
I don't think Kimmy's gonna melt his
crew.
fleet for the battle cruiser.
Man, I'm not a big ship person. Crew, I am not a big ship person. Now I get lost in ships, crew. You know that. Well, maybe you didn't know, but yeah, it is like it feels claustrophobic for me. I'm not a big ship person. I respect the hell out of it, but yeah, I totally get it with people in regards to like the big ship, and it's like this is yours, and man, you command this thing, and it's, you know, it's that epic movie that you watch, whether it's like a Star Wars or something, and you get to command and move that thing around, right? And I think that's that speaks to the little kid in all of us, right? When we're
Right.
you know, infatuated with that massive star destroyer or something, you know, it's cool. But me, give me the little fighter, give me the ship that can get it done with a small crew like the Millennium Falcon. That's me. That's my jam. I would be lost for days. and
Maybe even weeks.
It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. I'm there like, come this way, Kimmy. Come. No, turn your left, your other left. I'm like, oh damn, I'm on the screen doing this. I embarrass myself every time. Every time, man. But yeah, that's a beautiful ship. But I was torn. I was torn in the middle of TAC or Asgard, and I'm like, damn. I would love for Gavin Rothery, I think that's his name. He does a lot of the ships for Star Citizen. I would love him to say, I'm announcing the longbow, and it holds a lot of arrows in it. And the longbow shoots out all these arrows, man. Holy smokes, that would be badass. Oh, if they could come up with that ship, whoo, that's stout. And you have all those arrows attacking. Whoo.
I don't know what manufacturer hasn't had a decent sized ship so far.
Anvil, hello. Anvil do not have a capital ship, and they're strong in the UEE military. That's the crazy thing. They're strong in the UEE military. That's where I'm saying, would that make sense to me? I'm saying, when, when.
Mm-hmm.
That's a no-brainer.
I logged in to check out this TAC. I bought it but never looked at it. Really looked at it.
Really?
So I'm looking at it real quick, checking it completely out. I always go to the side turret gun and just shoot it.
Oh,
and then whenever I'm done, I get out of it and go.
Let me ask you this: I'm looking at the page. I need to look. Does the Asgard have a medical bed?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask. I send it. What does he feel separates the Valkyrie from the other variant? And if he's flown both of them.
Does the Valkyrie have a...
No.
Oh, it doesn't have one?
Not.
See, that's why I went with attack. When I saw that medical bed, I knew I made my decision between the Asgard and the attack. I did.
30 minutes till I got to get off, Kimmy.
Oh wow.
Old people.
I've flown into Asgard. Yeah, I mean, now with the Asgard, you're looking for a battle, you're looking for a fight, or you're coming to help, or you're coming to assist in an actual fight. With attack, you're minding your business and you're not looking for a fight, but if someone picks a fight, you fight back. You can because
Right.
you're an attack.
I don't know. I think they're just two totally different. Like, I think the TAC is built to fight ground vehicles. I would have to look deeper into the
Anything on the
Asgard.
ground, anything on the ground for the tack, and you can deploy with those seats back there with the tack. It's tactical.
Well, yeah, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, I feel like the big weapons at the bottom of
yeah,
the ship
the turret. Is that
are
turret?
strictly
Is it a turret?
are
Yeah.
strictly for fighting vehicles.
On the
That's
ground.
just what I that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And the Asgard to me is just a true drop ship.
That is correct. I
Okay.
agree with that 150%. The only thing you
And
left out was the two side turrets, because you're not going to pick a fight from the sides of that ship too while it's raining hell below it.
And then on both sides, when you got troops jumping out, there's two Gatling guns there
Yeah.
to knock down any
Yeah.
enemy running up on the ship. So I mean
Have you heard that term?
You definitely made a good choice by choosing the TAC. I
Yeah.
mean,
Have you heard that
it just
military
depends on what you're
term?
looking for.
Have you heard that military term called lay down suppressing fire? That's what that will suppress you. You will not stick your head up from behind that box when that thing is raining hell over your head.
right?
You will stay tucked, and then before you know it, the troops are right there on you.
Right. That's like the what's the Ironclad's variant of the drop ship?
Ironclad assault.
Yeah, right.
next ship.
When that thing comes in,
Yeah, but
that's the only thing that I feel the TAC may
needs.
tuck its tail just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and
Just
it might
a
need to
little bit.
call them. You might need to call the assault.
Yeah, right. So,
Got a convoy.
right.
10-4, big buddy.
And
Or the
that's
way.
one of the reasons why I like this game more than I ever did Elite Dangerous, due to the fact that there's not one ship that can do all. You either got to have this ship to do this, that ship to do that. With Elite Dangerous, you just change the modules and all that. You could have a mining ship, you could
Yeah.
have a cargo ship. And I was like, to me, that's not realistic. It would cost way too much money to do that.
To me, it feels so one-dimensional because you're seeing the same thing, but you're guessing what's going on behind the hood or under the hood. Whereas once we get the dynamic meshing, more people in game, you're going to see all these variations and colors of ships flying all around, and you say to yourself, my God, man, this is what probably will look like in maybe 100, 200 years from now if we, get our stuff together and actually do things that that will progress us technically. This is probably a prelude of what we will see, and
Right.
it will take your breath away because you're seeing
Right.
the varieties of everything. You see a full life of things in this virtual world. That's the allure, man. I'm hitting it on the head right there. I'm hitting it on all cylinders because I'm really bringing it from my perspective, and it's not. I'm not selling anything. It's what I'm seeing through
Right.
through its potential. Now, not to say they can really screw this up. They can be they're hair thin line of just really screwing this up, and people, they get frustrated with it, but at the same time it's not merited to the extent where you just keep sticking them for it. It's like you see the progressions, dude. You lay up a little bit, relax a little
Right.
bit. You see the progression. Let's be real and let's keep it real. Give them
Right.
some credit. But yeah, I understand you feel as though you got to keep your foot on the pedal because if you don't, they're going to mess up. No, this is somebody's dream, man. This is somebody's ambition. And we should
Right.
let it play out.
Right.
But we do. But we're griping along the way. So it's like, are you with us or are you not? You know, let us let it be told. If they mess up on something, fine, call it out, stick a pin in it, and move on. But if you're not really with them, it's like, ugh, what's the point? Are you going to be around when it's good and then you're going to be the best advocate for it? I'm like, dude, all along you just been griping and moaning, but now you're the best advocate for it. I get it. I totally get it. It gets frustrating sometimes. And
to be honest with you, going through this tack, I gotta say, man, it's actually pretty spacious.
Yeah, I mean, it could turn into a daily because of the versatility.
Daily,
yeah, it gives you situational. You're able to handle situations with that ship. If things get out of whack, you have the tools or enough tools to do what you need to do to keep that thing going. But no, I went on a little rant there. But yeah, I mean, it's we endure it. We endure the ups and downs of Star Citizen. I think at the end of the day, they're making progress. But this is the first time a lot of us have actually seen game development. I've never have ever seen game development. I think with the exception of game developers who's been in the business understand what that is like. But
man,
even then,
man,
they're doing things differently, man. Because they're pushing the envelope. I'm sorry, go ahead.
If Misk makes a bigger ship that requires a bigger hangar, I would really love the Misk hangar more than any other hangar I've ever been in.
A Misk hangar? What are you talking about, a Misk hangar?
The tack. You know, the little hangar that's in the tack.
Oh, okay. You got me confused. I'm thinking hangar.
Yeah, like the gray, with the green lights at the bottom of it, dude. This is crazy.
Cool. Where the Fury lands, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want it to be bigger?
Well, I know. I was saying if they made a bigger ship in the future, and the hangar looked like this, but bigger, maybe fit I don't know, a heavy fighter or something in it. I would love this.
Yeah,
I love the gray. I don't know. It's really cool. Really, really cool. Misk really stepped their game up here, buddy.
Something that would hold the Guardian.
Well, something bigger, brother. I mean,
that's a heavy fighter. You seen that one I was shooting in Arena Commander?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about. I'm talking like, you know how people will stick 3 or 4 ships inside the Carrack back in the day. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just saying a bigger hangar to fit a bigger ship.
Just one big ship, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that.
I don't like how they have the gun rack upstairs. They should have had it up in the front, but that's all right.
Oh, to store guns?
Yeah. Why is it all the way upstairs?
Good question. I
guess for the crew that's upstairs.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna grab everything up there. If that's for the cockpit, how many racks is it? So I think it's pertaining for the people in the cockpit. So if it's the same number for the cockpit, then it makes sense.
So you could fit 2 rail guns in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4 rifles or sniper rifles.
Wow, it's in it.
And 4 hand weapons.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I would have said that. Whoa.
Where's the captain's quarters?
For the
There ain't no captain's quarters here?
Oh, snap. What? I didn't look at that part.
Yeah, somebody's getting cursed on now, my friend. What do you mean ain't no captain's quarters?
No, you can't say. You won't be able to say carrot killer.
Pretty close.
No one will be able to say carrot killer. Now the Odyssey. Come on now.
What's this? life support.
Now the Odyssey.
The Odyssey.
Woo.
The Odyssey is not a carrot killer.
I cannot wait for that Odyssey, man.
You're gonna be lost. We won't even be flying in it, brother.
Happily.
Come on, man.
I'll be happily lost.
When do you think it's coming out?
Oh man, I would say 2028.
Choo.
Yeah, or 30.
I'm saying
2030.
I'm saying I'll be 50. It better not take that long. They really need to speed their ship stuff up, get everything caught up so people are happy.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest gripe I hear.
Yeah.
You know, why are you working on these new ships and you didn't even get the backlog of ships done? Like, get the ships done, get them out in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
so
gonna.
people can be happy.
It's gonna be. It's tentative, right? You set that date and they get ahead of it, right? They get ahead of it. But yeah, it can.
Dang, bro.
It's one of the things that we hang our head. Oh, yeah. That's, dude. You didn't hear me earlier. I said, man, I'm not messing with that. I'm not messing with that.
That is one hell of a low blow right there, my friend.
Hey. I'm not messing with it. Somebody please put some words in chat, please, so I can look beyond. I'm not. No.
Dak has one huge flaw. It only fits
Oh,
one
no.
stuff. You're right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Well, I think they kind of, for me, right? I think I guess, you know how the ladies say, oh, that's so cute. Well, it's made just for it. I think it was one of those things they wanted to like tie it in, put a little like cherry on the top or make a little cute bow of it. And I think it was successful by doing that because the Miss Fury was out there, right? And it's like, well, why is it out there? It's a snub fight. It doesn't have what do you call it? Quantum capabilities. And then lo and behold, it's like, yeah, this is why. But yeah, it can be the snub ship 4.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Is he gonna crash?
Dude, you are that's probably another Kimmy. He's probably streaming. This thing has turrets, and then you go to get it to the Turk.
Ouch.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Kimmy. Mr. Send It here. He pretty much did a WWF 90 style low blow to you, man. With that comment right there.
What's that? Sold a lot of fury. What? What? When he said sold a lot of furies?
Oh man, look at my man here struggling to get in there.
Yeah, he's doing something crazy. Look at this.
My man's struggling.
There he is. He flopped it in, man.
Right.
He flopped that thing in.
Boom.
Yeah. Is that you in the hangar with the tack? Was that the tack? Oh, is that the Idris in there? It's 2 Idrises. That was a freaking Idris he landed. It's 2 of them. Oh, they're free flying like crazy. Now, you know what? Back in the day, this would have chopped the server in half.
Right.
And look at that. Just as smooth.
Advise you, I'd stay back, bruh.
And now people are now CIG's talking about bringing in a larger ship. Holy smokes!
That's because they have confidence now, man.
They know what they're
They
doing.
got confidence.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're getting it together. Holy smokes! Well, let me go ahead and land.
What are you doing? Yeah,
landing. I was supposed to call for landing, man.
My man got caught up with the Idris.
Yeah, I mean the
Look
progress.
at him. Wait, look at him. He's going straight up.
Ooh, somebody up there.
No, spin to your left.
Yep.
Keep spinning.
That
Keep
Idris.
spinning. See him?
Yeah, I see him.
He's struggling to get out.
Yeah. Wait till that Maelstrom system come. They ain't gonna be doing that no more. They won't be able to. Players won't look. I'm telling you, Akuma Tenshi Kuro 07. Hey,
Man,
look,
struggling
man.
to get out.
The Maelstrom system is going to put real weight on these ships, but it's getting them ready for crafting too. We're going to be
you
crafting and
imagine?
repairing our ships.
The fuel,
Yeah, I can.
the fuel cost to get out of atmosphere.
You know they said that, right? They said you're not going to be taking that ship out unless it's a big event. Now it's going to be a lot of crying because people are thinking, again, what is our conversation started with? The dailies, right? That is not a daily, and they're treating it like a daily. It's not a daily.
Everybody's flying solo, brother.
Hurston Dynamics, what is this? I'll bet you some money he's flying it solo. Hurston Dynamics. Uh-oh, are you doing the event, Akuma? Hurston Dynamics will bring it to you. Hurston Dynamics, give yourself to us. Announcer, have you ever exploited starving third world children for your own monetary gain? You will. Holy smokes. What is this a communication from CIG? Akuma, he's probably repeating something.
That's funny. Up, there's the towing ship.
That's the
Somebody's-
raft, right?
Is it?
That's the
yes, it is
raft.
the raft. My bad.
Yeah, I was like, huh? Wait a minute, what are we talking about here?
Well, it kind of looks like the towing ship. I
Yeah.
have the towing
Well-
ship. We need to start using it more.
Their style guide is a lot. Is very similar. They do well in the style guide. The mold needs some love though.
Right.
It needs tremendous love. But I think they're gonna fix that before they get into the Arastra.
Mama just got me new slippers.
Very nice.
Right.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
She's always spoiling me.
There you go. That's awesome. Damn, I looked over here. I thought somebody was in my hangar. I'm about to pull out a damn rifle. Right over there. I'm like, are you in my freaking hangar? I'm like, dude, you about
What
to
is
get...
that?
Exactly. I'm like, you're about to catch it. In my hangar? You gotta be
I know. I
crazy.
want to see what gun you're talking about. Where's Vic
Vic's
at?
got it. He's out there. He said he'll be in a bit. Vic, I don't want your gun, but I want that gun. Dude, I gotta have that thing, man. He's gonna say, "Oh,
I need to
yes,
see
that's,
something, man.
that's the."
I need to see a
Gardner
picture of
Onyx.
Vic, please.
What's the name
Post
of
it
it?
in Discord.
Yeah, text the name. I think it's in the event. It's got these little green little X's on
Is
it.
it a new gun?
Yeah, I think it's part of that Onyx mission.
Are you going to go down and do it?
Not alone. Hell no.
Come on, Kimmy.
I know.
Come on.
Exactly. That means you're going with me, right? No.
No.
Exactly.
Can't. I only got 10 minutes, man.
Sure.
All right, so sneak peek a new weapon. That one has a blade on the bottom of it.
So there's
Oh, man,
another
that's 1
medical
year
ship.
ago.
You know,
What do
we're
you
gonna
mean?
see some really cool ships, man. There's 4 ships coming for IAE, at least 4.
What are you reading this on?
No, John Cruz said it.
Where?
This was in his. That was the last show. Star Citizen Live or Inside Star Citizen with the ships. They were
Okay.
talking about it. Yeah, it's gonna be. So yeah, it's no more videos until after CitizenCon, October 11th.
When so you said Citizen Con starts October 11th?
Yeah, that's a Saturday.
Okay.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna fact check myself again. Yeah, that's Saturday. 2 hours though. 2-hour show. But that's okay though.
So do you think we're going to get a system?
For CitizenCon?
Yeah.
No, well, it's like this, man. I think all his resources, literally, they are being tied up into Squadron 42. It's tied up. They're tied up. It's all Squadron 42.
I can dig it.
Yeah, and I think, I think people, they hear them saying that, but they, for some reason, it feels like they don't hear him. They heard him say it, but they don't hear him or hear CIG saying that. And so you have this kind of knee-jerk reaction of, man, it better not be, it better have a lot of things in it, and it better, 2 hours. And I'm like, wait a minute, are we not listening to them? Are we missing something? And I think we are. And I think it's because we want things so badly. We're looking for things so badly because we're caught up in these features and them building things, and then we're caught up and we're seeing these patches come fast and furious. We're so caught up in that, we're not hearing them. And that's our fault. That's our disconnect. So, then we, and here's the thing, then we get sad. I'm speaking to me too. We get sad because we're saying, damn, man, only 2 hours? What? Right. They better have something good, or it needs to be something that we're gonna see soon. It's the same thing. They are working on Squadron 42. We're not trying to hear it. They're working on Squadron 42, dude. I don't know, man. It's like
So do you think Squadron will be out?
No. When? Like they're saying 2026. Is that what you're saying too? Or you're like, no? You mean like it'll be out when they announce, when they do CitizenCon?
Well, I mean, they're gonna have to give us something, man. They're gonna have to give us something.
See, my point right there.
You know what I mean?
My point right there. Holy smokes!
Man, you know how many CitizenCons I've watched, and I'm just sitting there like, that there's never a time where I stood up like, yeah, or anything else.
Yeah, you know what? I'm guilty too, man, to what you're saying. I'm guilty there too. And unfortunately, probably a lot more people, they're not going to say it, but they're thinking in those same lines that you're thinking of too. But here's the reality check. They're working on Squadron 42. I mean, they're seriously grinding down on that, because I think this is a turning point with Chris Roberts. This is his career. This is his sole point of 2012, and the reason why he got out of making movies, to now, Squadron 42. And I don't think some of us, it's like, it's not saying we don't care, but we don't care. It's more of, dude, I want to play what I want to play. And he's like, dude, I got a reputation to uphold. I got a promise. Right. I got promises I got to keep.
I don't know. He started Star Citizen first, so I'm here to play Star Citizen. Squadron 42 is extra, and I do want to play it, but I'd rather play Star Citizen more.
Okay, see right there,
and create my own story.
You said, see, you just put that out there, and it was just so casual, and I'm like, stop. You said Squadron 42 is extra.
Yeah.
See, that's a huge statement right there, man. Squadron 42
which-
was the beginning of everything.
Yeah, I understand that, but with this project here, what was started first?
Squadron 42. That's what I'm saying.
Well, but you was playing Star Citizen first.
The whole precipice for this was Squadron 42. I mean,
Well, I'd
yeah,
rather play
it's in
Star
your
Citizen.
hands, but it's like we're but see, here's the thing, man. It just our senses can deceive us. Our senses can fail us, man, because we
Yeah.
get something in our hands and we're told something, right? First,
No,
first and
I agree
foremost,
with you, brother,
No,
but-
no, I'm just saying. I'm just laying it out there. Not for you. Not to say we're just talking, right? It's just
yeah.
it's just bringing up points that I'm guilty too. I'm just bringing up points, concrete points of saying this is mind-boggling. At the same time, it's something that has to be brought out into the light because it is not resonating with us, a lot of us, because they talked about, he got on a video and talked and showed Squadron 42, this Hornet, this what is that ship, the Bengal, and he said, we're gonna play a game called Squadron 42. I'm gonna make it and it's gonna be awesome. And it was
Listen.
told to us.
I didn't back that far back. I only backed 5 years ago?
Yep.
5-6 years ago.
Yep.
Somewhere around there. I've never played. I've never been into Star Wars, any of that stuff. So like when you guys are talking about Star Wars, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about any of that stuff. And most of the people, when they hear that I've never been into Star Wars or anything like that, they're like, what are you doing playing Star Citizen? I'm like, what little boy or little girl didn't want to be an astronaut?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I got
Play a
into the
space
game
game.
because of Star Citizen. I didn't get into it for Squadron 42. To me, Squadron 42 is extra.
Yeah. But right, but does that mean the history never existed? I gotta ask that question. Based on your statement and based on the fact of the reality of what you see and through your eyes and your perspective of it, does it dismiss the history? Does that mean you're supposed to wipe it away because your
No.
perspective of it? Right.
No. I'm just looking at it from minds. Like,
Right.
I agree with what you guys are saying, but at
You
the same
do?
time, I don't know anything about Chris. Like, I didn't know anything about any of the other games that he did. Nothing. This is the first, and I stumbled across this game from watching What's the Biz,
Right.
and I was like, wait a minute, man, what the heck is this game?
Can
And then I
I
went to the website and I was like, oh crap, man, I already got a pack. And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is that one where that Andromeda crushed me, dude.
See, I don't want to get. I want you to go too far with your statements because you're saying a lot, and then I lose that thought of why I want to stop you, not to be rude or anything, but to stop your thought. You said
Yeah.
You said you put it in a sentence that I agree with that, right? You agree with that, but that means you have to also allow what you agreed upon just now to happen, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, I agree upon that, but, and then you like, get out of here, right? And this is psychological, and it's not. I'm not picking on you, Rizzy. It's just I'm bringing up a point of
No, I'm
all
playing
of
chess.
us. Yeah, we're all guilty, and it's just
Yeah,
to say.
I'm playing chess right now.
Yeah, you're saying right, and you're saying that means you have to allow him to do this because you just said you agree. It's like the fine writing, the fine line, the letters on the contract, and you just said, yeah, I agree with that, and so
Yeah,
that
but
means,
I didn't sign it.
But right, and you're not going to sign it because
I'm
it's
just
not
here
in
to
your
play
hand.
Star.
Right, it's not in your hand, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
People, I think we all are tangible people, and if it's something tangible, it has more value than a concept of something or a statement on something. And I think that's where we are with this whole dynamic that is Squadron 42, what we have here, that we're actually live playing and seeing, and it's like, this is incredible. You've done enough, Chris. Job done, right? Job complete.
Yeah.
Now keep working on what we're seeing here and what we're playing here. And he's like, no, you just ignored me. I came on that stage. I stood on that stage and pitched this as Squadron 42. What changed? Well, everything changed, Chris. Right? Everything around you, Chris, has changed. But unfortunately, you haven't decided to get on board and switch it up and get and ride with us, man. You're at fault. And it's like, wait a minute, what? This is your fault, Chris. You shouldn't have put out 2 damn games in the first place.
Right.
They're like, what?
Right.
He's like, it's not 2 games. One is a storytelling to allow you to get into the game and immerse yourself and understand what this is. And that's the thing. People are quick. They see the visual. Oh, look at, dude, what is that? Wait a minute. Is this a game? Wait, look at those clouds. Wait a minute. You're playing what it don't matter what it is. What is it? Give me the damn how do I get in? Give me the damn download. And then you get in, you're like, what's going on? What is this?
With an i3.
Where's the damn
can
manual?
barely play it.
Right, with the i3, this game sucks. This is a scam. you're getting snapshots for your frames. Click, 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 click. You're like, oh, this is some BS. I've been sold damaged goods. You know, I'm looking at it on stream and like, damn, his stuff looks good. And I'm like, I get in this and like, what the hell is he playing it on? I hate that guy. I hate him.
Kimmy, I gotta get off, brother.
Dang. Okay. Great conversation, man.
Yeah, you got somebody in the waiting room. Do you want me to drag him down?
Who is it? I gotta see. No, I'm kidding. What's going on? Akuma. 07 Akuma. How are you, sir? Oh, your mic's not on, Akuma.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
It's been a roller coaster, but no, I just wanted to relate a quick silly story if you got a minute.
Hey, man, I got minutes. This is Star Citizen. I got a lot of minutes.
So years ago on a very slow night watch, not much going on, 12 hours to kill, I walk over to another section of the watch floor to a Navy friend of mine. I walk up to him and I'm just like, I haven't said anything, and just out of nowhere he goes like, have you ever exploited the starving third world children of the world for your own monetary gain? And I'm like, no. And without missing a beat, he goes like, you will, and AT&T will bring it to you. AT&T, give yourself to us. And what he also didn't know is that my father had retired from AT&T, and he retired from AT&T because AT&T was going in a bad direction. And when he said that, I just lost it laughing, and it stuck with me over the years. And much more recently here, I'm like, there's a lot of people that don't know the lore of this game. I'm hearing Astropub talk all the time about how ignorant people are of that there even is deep lore. I'm like, that is a perfect encapsulation of the lore of Hurston. So now I'm just running around kind of posting it in people's as long as I'm not trying not to make sure I'm not too much of a jerk about it, but posting that in people's streams to be like, hey, this is something funny, it'll make people laugh, but it'll kind of clue people that are watching in, oh, wait a minute, why is he saying this about Hurston? Maybe I should look up Hurston's information. Oh, there's lore behind it. I didn't know that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, so that's where that came from.
Oh, the Hurstons, the family. Holy smokes!
Well, I mean, they basically lock people into lifelong contracts and grind their people into the dirt. So it fits, right? I mean, if you're a mogul type and you could be one of their business partners, that advertisement might appeal to you, and that would be up their alley.
Yeah, and then your bottom line is taken care of with them. Rest assured. I mean, it's promised. It's going to be taken care of regardless, no matter what, whatever it takes. So they're like, yes, I'm in. When do we start?
So,
And there's
exactly.
a lot of suffering. Even the planet itself suffers.
Right.
The planet.
Anyway,
is
I
the
got to go, and
recipient.
I just wanted to relate that. I thought it was
I was
the little
wondering where
blurb
that
made me
came
laugh, and I
from.
was hoping it'd make you laugh as well.
Yeah, I'm looking like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's a little fake commercial for Hurston towards their imagined commercial from Hurston towards other potential business partners. Considering that, like, the player population, that is to say, people who own ships in the game, the lore is that we're all the 1% of the population of the
Yeah.
UEE.
Yep.
We would be the ones to hear an ad like that.
Yeah. Closed doors. That's a closed door conversation right there.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
closed door, or
Perception.
on the more exclusive parts of Spectrum where only the elites go.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
But you see the results of Hurston. You see the planet. You see the people. You see the work conditions. You see the environments. And they're also, to that point, the other part of it with the development is that they're going to have the interiors, and you're going to see where the rich will spend their time and money at Lorville or Hurston. So more to come. But yeah, that is the lore of that planet. The people the players in that, the movers and the shakers. That is who they are. But I think that's the one thing we don't really understand is that it's a feature rich, but also it's full of stories. David Haddock,
Right.
man, it's David Haddock. People don't sleep on him. Yep.
Well, and the thing is, if you follow the lore, granted, the lore is recrafted in retconned
Retcon.
to fit to
Development.
towards what the game itself needs.
Yes.
But, like, for example, the lore, at least so far for Quantanium, has been that it forms as an isotope in extremely cold conditions, because it's
Ooh.
only in cold conditions that the different materials that turn into Quantanium get dense enough to capture the quantum particles, right?
Oh.
Well, if you follow that lore, you go,
Yeah.
so I need to go to cold places. Well, now they've refactored that, but at least
No.
before one of the earlier mining refactors, you had to go to cold places like Lyria to get your Quantanium, and that was reflected in the lore.
And
So if you know
space.
your lore, it'll direct you towards what you should do in the game.
And space as well. Asteroids.
Yes.
See, man, there's no other game like this. There's no
Anyway,
other
I got to
game
get
like
back to family stuff. It was
Akuma,
good talking to you.
hey,
God
good-
bless you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good talking to you, Akuma.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good stuff, man. Oh, wow. It's good stuff, man. That's our community. That's what this game is about. The storytelling, the connections, the people with opinions and different opinions and different insights, and we come together and you form this. This is incredible, man. It's don't sleep on Star Citizen. Don't sleep on it. Backed in 2013, before we got the Hangar module, I backed for both, especially for Squadron 42. Meister says, yeah, SQ-42 is meant to be the flagship, and Star Citizen is like Red Dead Online. Kimmy, can I come on your voice for a couple of minutes? Of course, man. Gotta be quick, because I gotta get the family things. Yes, sir. I'll be on soon, says Vic. Oh, let me send you a Discord. I send it. Yeah, Hurston is a garbage planet. So much pollution and wasteland. Yeah. Yep. And they make a lot of money. They make a lot of UEC. My gosh, man, this is good stuff. This lore, man, it's just, it drives the game, and this is why, again, it brings back to the earlier conversation with Rizzy, is that we gotta have Squadron 42. We gotta know the history. We have to have the lore. It is the flagship, you know. Yep. It is the flagship. That is the connecting piece. It is the glue, it is the heart of what the persistent universe will become. I think it grounds us in story, in lore, so that we're then more capable of understanding. And it might even change our vision about the game, but it has to be told. The story has to be told. No doubt about it. It's effort, it's feature richness, it's immersion, it's direction, it's life, it's storytelling. It's Star Citizen and Squadron 42. Yeah, Antebellum. It looks almost like, or you can almost say steampunk. The clothing, the industrial age. It's that industrial age on steroids, right? Because it's kind of like no EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, none of that. It's their planet. They do what the hell they want with it, and it's open for business. It's open for business. And the fallout is what you see. That the planet is dying. The planet is in pain. You know, the toxins thrive. And it's opposite. I would love to see a planet that it's based on naturalist, natural remedies, using organics and life forms to assist and to help balance with life. You know, it's so many opportunities to tell these stories and to frame out these pieces of lore based upon expanding on the planet and the systems, and you having the capabilities to interact and see things for the first time. True exploration in a virtual world. But let's get the story of Squadron 42 out there to set up a framework of what this is. It's got to be told. It must be told. Got to tell that story. It's necessary. I gotta set dead zones on my Say, which is SC's East Asian Culture Planet. Are you kidding me, man? What? Man, I could do a stream just talking lore and backstories for the persistent universe with you. So there it is. It makes sense. I think steampunk is more post AI rebellion, back to mechanics, not computer stuff. Yeah, but there's, things, what's old is new, and then there's slight nuances that alter or change it a little bit. It's similar but not exact. And you're talking about with the industrial age, it's a full-on discovery of, we can mass produce stuff using machinery. Ben Hurston comes along and then says we can do incredible things through science and technology, and if it goes bad, oh well, it's not a problem. We're a big machine that's progressing through technology and science, and of course military prowess will always help cut the check and not have that check bounce, so those nuances, because I think after the industrial age, there was a footprint when World War II happened, they turned on the machine again, but it was a slight difference to it. You started making bullets, tanks, etc. You know, so it's so many ways you can tell these stories, man. It's just incredible through this vehicle, through sci-fi, and you mingle it with history itself. It's an interesting dynamic. And it's almost like it's like Chris is getting the best of both worlds. He's creating a video game, but he's also making a movie. How do you pronounce that, Akuma? Is it Saisei or Saisi? Saisei. Saisi. It'd be interesting to see how it's pronounced. Saisei. And see, the East Asian culture, man, it's a conglomerate. Saisei. Yeah, first one you said. You know, is it ancient China? Is it Japan? Is it a blend? And you have people say, well, could it be Korean? Right? Or could it have a flair for Thailand? See, it's man. It's so many layers. When you say East Asian, it's so many layers. But let me go to geography, because he's like, man, you know what you're saying, Kimmy. Let me see the discipline here. Let me get my maps right. East Asia borders North Asia to the north, Southeast Asia to the south, South Asia to the southwest, and Central Asia to the west. To its east is the Pacific Ocean. See, East Asia is a geocultural region of Asia. It includes China, Japan, Mongolia, North Korea, South Korea, and Taiwan. Plus two special administrative regions of China, Hong Kong, and Macau. So you can't, it's feature rich, right? So you can blend in. So you can have a cold region that's similar to Mongolia, right? Japan, you can be set by the ocean. In China, you can have a mountainous region. Holy smokes, man. Musashi Industrial Space Concern. Musashi. Dude, that is man, dude, you could stream that alone when you're by yourself. That is freaking incredible. Now I'm gonna let oh great. 07, thank you for the follow. Who is this? I'm looking up the double farts. Steam is awesome. Thanks for making it for us. Stream is awesome. Well, I send it. It's yeah. The focal point was Japan. I mean, yeah. It's do you want to include that into Star Citizen, or do you want to show the beauty of the best parts of those cultures, right? There's a choice there. Yes, but it is Japanese and Korean dominate with a heavy splash of the US and Hawaiian culture. Oh, yes. That would be interesting too now. That is cool. That is so cool. Can you imagine the set pieces and having swords and no weapons there? You can actually use a sword. Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers of gameplay that you can flesh out to that. I'm Japanese, but I'm a historian. Nice. It's the spirit, man. It is the spirit. it's where we start, but it's where we go, where we designate our North Star, our azimuth north. For reals. Nice. But yeah, so then Chris would have to bring in underwater gameplay, oceans, seaweed, sashimi. You know, different aspects of Asian culinary disciplines. Oh my God. Collecting of fish, koi ponds. Woo! Oh, look at you, man. Holy smoke. Is that the characters, the Japanese characters? I did some Japanese brush and ink from the sister city of Kawasaki. Then they taught me the brush ink. I did a bamboo and the bamboo leaves and Japanese brush and ink. Not sure how true this is, but I've heard underwater gameplay will eventually be a thing. I can go back to my Spectrum and actually show you the years that I've been asking for it. I think it goes all the way back to 2014. But I think, yeah, we're on the precipice because Chris is aware of it. He hears a lot of things like that. And matter of fact, the last Squadron 42, he said, no, we're not going to do fishing this year or something like that. So it's out there. It's out there. It's awareness of it because they got to bring that into the equation. They have boats that have flotation in Squadron 42. We were amazed when we saw that. So yeah, I see where we will eventually be on top of the water, under the water, and I think I'm an advocate for the 890 jump to actually be to have floating capabilities to actually, you know, land on water and actually move like a cruise ship, a la Fifth Element. Same thing with the 600i submerge, right? Yes, it does need that. And it's a beautiful set piece when you talk about docks and ports. Literally a yacht club at Terra where you have these elaborate lots. I mean, elaborate, what do you call it? Docks. That's what I wanted to say. I mean, huge. It's almost like a spaceport, but as opposed to landing at a spaceport, you actually land on water and cruise up to the port, and then you dock the ship next to the port. Hello. That brings another layer of gameplay for the 890 jump, and seeing them on the water, and you get to see the sunset, sunrise, alien sea creatures, docile, and the further you go out, hostile. It brings that level of immersion again to the game. But I don't know. Holy smokes, Ascendant. Holy smokes. It just got real, man. It just got real. Yeah, that's a rough one. Yeah. You got my respect, man, for being able to continue to carry on. You got my respect. And that's what you have to do. Time for the old man nap. Catch you later, Mr. Van Winkle. Okay, AUEC. Okay. Went from peaceful Japan to living in Oakland, California, just after Vietnam War. Holy smokes. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was that area has been rough. It's where Li Xiaolong went to live too. Me raking in the credits. Remember, I am an old man. Once you are asleep, I was raking in the credits. Oh, the space bum. The richest space bum in the verse. Yes, indeed. '07 Scavenger, aka Scavenger. Yeah, a lot of things CIG is gonna start to look to push by the end of the year, I think. But no doubt about it, they're ready to push Squadron 42 out the door. They are ready. They're getting ready, should I say. I'm ready for it too. Yeah, tough skin opportunities. A lot of things come your way, and it's just working through it and building upon things, and just, you know, you don't let it. You bend, but don't break, man. Oh yeah. I've heard the infamous, perfect A's and those levels of honor and shaming, and you rather not want to go on if you're not performing at a perfect high level. Yeah, that's incredible pressure. Incredible pressure. Woo. I understand it. Never lived it, but I understand it. Yeah, be good people in the sense of making those tough decisions to do things right when sometimes it's not easy to do the right thing in times. But kids are kids, they make mistakes, and sometimes adults unfortunately write off kids just being kids and trying to find their way, and they don't have the full picture of things, and then I think it comes to the point of you come to the realization of being an adult, and you make mistakes as a kid, and you work to recover from it, but it's the end results that count, right? That says, hey, those things were needed because it defined who I am now. And don't hold that against yourself. And parents, same thing. Don't always strive to do the best you can, and look at things for what it is, and always try to come back to yourself to make things right. Some of us get it, not all of us get it. Consider yourselves lucky, blessed that you're able to overcome and it's for a reason. This life owes us nothing. Oh wow. Congrats. In a week. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. You cannot have a family life in Japan today. At least not with any real meaning unless you're a real lucky exception. Grandpa. GI Ascendant. GI Ascendant. GP. Grand Ascendant. Okay, that sounds like a name change is in order. Grand Ascendant. Ascendant G or Ascendant Grand. Paw Ascendant. Good times, man. You get to see it over, sir. You get to see the refined life. You see your legacy, and you just have a good time with him. Seriously. You get to have a good time with him. And yeah, look for him to be the better part of you, and as well as your son. Make him a better person than the two of you combined. Oh, I can't break that. Yeah, that's 27K. These are large rocks. But the set pieces, though, for the interiors and our bases, that's going to be wonderful to see the cultural set pieces that you can add to your homes in the game. It's on the level of like a movie set. Some of the drawings. Awesome. But yeah, the different cultural aspects of the game, I think it's going to really, I think it's an opportunity for us, for Cloud Imperium Games to reflect the various cultures in game, right? And kind of look at it and take the essence of it and push it forward in a way that it's futuristic. What? I sent it. You. Wait a minute. Are you playing the game? You're actually playing the game, man? And you didn't tell me this? Holy smokes. No, you want to take Quantanium back to the refinery. That's your biggest moneymaker, the Quantanium, for sure. You want to do that. But there's going to be ships that will have that capability where you don't have to run back to the refinery. Also, the Expanse is a refinery ship, so you can partner up with someone, get those minerals refined, and just take them in and sell them. And they're going to be much more. They'll have more value because then you're not having to deal with a middleman, which is the refinery itself, which they get their cut for refining it for you. So definitely should be a good ship. The cut, the Expanse, the Arastra. It's gonna be a big ship. You need to multi-crew that thing. But yeah, mobile refinery is coming at some point. We'll get that. No wins, as Jarrett would say. No win statements. Yeah, you're exactly right, Meister. It's like 6. It makes a lot of sense too. It's manageable. I think a crew of 6 is manageable. It gives everybody something to do. At least 2 refineries, right? So someone's gonna pilot. So there's 3 other stations. Maybe a turret. Maybe the mining lasers. So 2 for refining, 1 pilot, and 2 for the lasers, or 3 for the lasers. I gotta go back look at the matrix, but yeah, that should keep all 6 people busy constantly, and I think that's what it's about. It's about having things to do, and that's a true multi-crew gameplay loop for that ship. True multi-crew. Be able to take care of business with that ship, and it refines. Oh man, there's going to be a mint to be made. I think it holds what, 564 units. Holy smokes! On, some in the interior and some on the outside below the wing, or somewhere under its wing. Incredible. Still got the touch. Back up. All right. Ooh. Okay, I'll come back to that. Let me examine this rock. So I want to take that last because the counter is going to give you 25 minutes. Akuma 07, a pleasure. Is that Kunbanwa? Have a good evening. Is that it? Japanese konbanwa. I know good morning is Ohio gozaimasu. Ohio gozaimasu, but konbanwa or banwa for good evening. What? Wait a minute. How did you? Wait a minute. What? What did you say? I have some Japanese friends. Benoit. I hope a person on the roster that is refining has his own gameplay, adjusting and balancing controls. If not, fireball. It's over, baby. It is over. Yes, a fireball. They're like, what are you gonna say when you know you're about to blow the ship up? Hell, let me get out of here. Where you going? I'm taking a break. I'm tired of these working conditions, damn it. You mean just gonna jump out the ship? Well, I said I'm leaving. Holy smokes, man. It's a lot of desync here. I'm not getting readings. I know it's there. You see, that's the desync happening. This is inert material, which I don't want. Hopefully that's the material you need to create structures for your base. Well, I'm just saying your homestead. But they should Ascendant. It's a station that you're gonna accept the refinery process. Okay, Ascendant. Oh 07. I'll see you later, man. Time to get that laptop, man. Whoa, no. Grandson first. Laptop much later. You'll be hanging out with him. Yep, hang out with the grandson, man. And congratulations, man. The better of you two is coming at you soon. Good times, man. Congrats. 07, sir. Yeah, man. It's just you see what Star Citizen does. It bringing a lot of people together, and you share stories and conversations, and it's very nice. And sometimes that's all we need, man, is just conversation. Better understanding of each individual. That's what it takes, man, understanding. I'm still here. I'm working on my vacation till I can't. Wait a minute, you're working on vacation? Oh, you're working while you're on vacation? Wow, okay. Yikes. Yeah, well, you'll get to hang out with the grandson, man. I think that's when it's all said and done. It's everything is for a reason, so yeah. Wow. No worries. Oh shoot, a box of Cohibas, man. Wow. Very nice. He was like, man, a box? Wow. Yep, he's happy. He's like, man, the holidays are gonna be good. Yeah, I'm not, everything here in regards to the gameplay and patches that we receive. I'm not gonna really expect much. It wouldn't be fair to expect much. I'm just gonna know that I'm just gonna listen for word for what's going on with Squadron 42 with no expectations of it. They're real currency. Oh wow, they can become money. Holy smokes, man. And use them as money. Wow. That valuable. Okay, let me see average price of Cohibas. Gotta look, you got me looking now. Well, you can probably tell me right off the bat, I'm sure. Yikes. It's gonna be between Status and Cloud. Ooh, yeah, because I'm looking at the average cost at between $20 to $100 per cigar. And that's specific, and that depends on the specific line and size. For example, Cohiba Bahique can range from 50 to 100, while the Cohiba Siglo series may be priced between 20 and 40. Prices can vary based on factors such as size, wrapper type, and market demand, so it's advisable to check with retailers for the most accurate pricing. Triple that in Canada. Yeah. And you got him a box. Holy smokes, man. Wow, that's not cheap. Not cheap at all. Yikes. Cha-ching, man. Yeah, he's it's like, whoa, didn't see this one coming. He probably choked when he saw it. No pun intended. Wow, really? Because okay. Yep. Cuba. Markets: Cuba, Spain, and Austria. That was Arnold Schwarzenegger's thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger, man, that was his thing. He would have a cigar in his mouth. Oh, okay. That I see now. I see Austria. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where is my Cohiba? I want it now. That was a terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was a terrible one. Holy smokes. Hedge, I'm gonna take you, see you there and take the hint. Send me some back. Holy smokes. Wow. So to have them in the States, it's like hush hush. Did it change? Let me see. I don't believe I just said, I typed America. Okay. To this day, due to the Cuban trade embargo that has been placed since 1962, that means the U.S. consumers cannot legally purchase Cuban Cohiba cigars online or from local retailers. Additionally, there has been a legal battle over the Cohiba brand name in the U.S., which has further complicated the situation regarding the availability of these cigars. Therefore, while Cohiba cigars exist, the Cuban version remains illegal in the United States. Dang, man. Can you buy Cuban cigars in Canada? No. It is prohibited for travelers to acquire Cuban cigars in a third country, bringing them into the United States. For instance, it is illegal to acquire Cuban cigars in oh. Damn, I'm gonna get off the site. It says find a lawyer. Okay. Present your case now. Nope. All right. Change subject. No way. Yeah. Unless that website is old. It's nuts, man. And 3.6, 3.2, 2.7. Wonder what this is. Go into fracture mode. And this is extraction only. Vexilite. Why not? We'll take some Vex. Hey man, I don't know. Oh snap. I know nothing. I know nothing. There's more rocks. I thought I just scanned one rock. There's several. There's a few. Not any value there. Vex, not too bad. Oh, quant. There's some quantanium there. Oh, it's a 40k rock. %, of inert material. All right, let's see here. I may be able to break that gold. It's at 20K. I might be pushing it. It's a possibility. Hmm. 31% gold. Wow, look at the window. It's a sliver, man. And they're saying that's easy? Oh, you gotta be kidding. Oh, wow. Oh boy, this is gonna be a little touch and go here. Instability 44.67%. Hit that threshold. Oh, there we go, there we go. It's gonna shake like crazy. Oh no, 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 no. Back away. Shit. Damn. Got my shield. Woo. Man. Oh gosh. Let's see what else is out here. That's broken. That says impossible. Is it really? 21K. A lot of gold on them there hills. %30 gold. It's a sliver, man. These are. Let me see what else is out here. Gold is good though. Corundum, nope. It's like someone was out here and they shattered this already and left it. %45 gold. It's a little. I don't know. I hear you, man. It's almost full now, so it's a lot of gold. Oh damn, what was that? Holy crap. Something tells me I better hurry up. I didn't like that sound. Did you hear it? Holy smokes, man. I'm almost full anyway, so this will just grab something and be done. This will do it. Yep. All right. Get back to the station. I wonder why it's like it's blocked. All right, I can now route to it. All right. Well, they recently had that Vulcan test, and for the most part, Vulcan seems to be stable. So I'm thinking there's going to be another series of tests. I don't know how many, but if the patch, I believe, it's going to drop in September, 4.3.1, is that it? We could very well be seeing a roadmap update that will have Vulcan added to it. Now, that's my guess because they're doing the initial test right now. Will there be a wipe? I don't think so. No, I don't believe there's going to be a wipe involved. Not right now. I think if there's something major, I think yeah, I could see them doing a wipe to make sure that whatever needs to be fixed, it's not due to things that have accumulated in the game that have changed a lot, where they're digging down and looking on our side of the data. I think they want to get a baseline with a clean build as much as possible. So if that's the case, I would say what would qualify, or what update would be the qualifier for a server wipe? I would say it would have to be dynamic server meshing. There's no doubt about it. Vulcan, I think it's more about the hardware than anything else. And because those tests have shown that that it's relatively stable, it hasn't really presented itself as a problem. I think it was just the builds that the software updates, or let's say the current build or something they were using, it had some issues with it. It wasn't Vulcan causing the problem. So I think there's some good in that, and knowing that. But yeah, going back to something as crucial as, you know, the engine itself, and something major that's going to actually be the anchor of everything that we play, everything we do. It has a footprint. It has a fingerprint on it, which would be dynamic server meshing. It touches everything. So I would not go into a heated battle in trying to fix any and all issues with a layer of software that we've been playing in and been doing all different things, and now you're looking at changing the whole footprint and the foundation of the game. Yeah, I want to strip it down and just say, let me go ground zero and know that I'm getting a baseline to work from. So any problems or issues, it will kind of help me decipher better. And so then I can pinpoint and say it's this, as opposed to, well, what's all this that, was being used and added, and I have to strip past those layers, so to speak. So yeah, I would say dynamic server meshing would be a qualifier. What other systems? What other parts? Planetary Tech 5. That's software. It's not data. But if it's data that, well, items, right? Features, items, that's not going to change. That has not much to do with Planetary Tech 5. So I don't see a wipe if they were announced that, hey, we're going to drop Planetary Tech 5 in. Now, let's say, but here's the funny thing. Let's say that they're going to add Nyx, and Nyx is a brand new system. Let's say they're working Planetary Tech 5 and, oh shit. Oh no, man. Hold on. Escape the menu. Damn, I fell through the freaking elevator. Are they listening to me? Damn. Oh crap. I hope a wipe is coming. The verse gets trashed during free fly. To that point, we were talking, Ascendant, that we were able to stay on the server for quite a bit. And overall, it wasn't really that bad. And this is, keep in mind, Free Flight, the notoriously known Free Flight that will basically tell you need to take a month off Star Citizen because you're not going to play it. The game would tell you that. Oh, you want to play the snapshot game? That's your frames. Snap, 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 snap. Yeah, totally different now. Totally different experience right now. Now, granted, it's patch to patch, but it seems to be that they're getting better with optimizations. And yet here we are. They were running multiple Idrises. You saw me earlier. There were multiple Idrises landing, taking off, and frames just as smooth as possible. Wasn't tanking. Hence why we see so many floating capital ships with no one in those ships. Free fly. So yeah. But yeah, I totally get it. You saying because of free fly, you want to wipe those temporary accounts and all that data out of there, clean that stuff up, get it out of there. I totally agree. But they haven't been doing that as of late. When free fly would finish, we'd just go back to normal. And things would work as normal. Yeah, Meister's making a point about, he's also been seeing the Polaris in the mix, and overall, you can play. You're still able to play it. Yeah, that's a testament to the works being put in. Yeah, but yeah, I think if they're using Planetary Tech 5 and they're incorporating Nyx with it, and once they do say, okay, everything is being converted over to Planetary Tech 5. They might even, let's say if we do get some sort of version of Nyx, it may be separated on a tech preview channel due to the fact that they're probably using Planetary Tech 5 for it. But rest assured, I think once that But once they decide when they're going to go live with Nix, I'm thinking that Planetary Tech 5 will bring everything over so everything is uniform. Without a doubt. I probably have to check to see if I have a impound penalty or fee I have to pay. Nine hours, Dynex solventation. Let me check, see if I owe anything. But yeah, I think any and everything is subject to a wipe until we get to 1.0. And even then, let's say they introduce 1.0, they may have to come back and wipe again. 1.0, they have to go back and do another wipe to ensure that everything is where it's supposed to be. But definitely, prior to them going to 1.0, it's going to be a wipe. You better believe it. If not, holy smokes, man, I'm shocked. They've come a long way. I would be totally shocked. Oh, damn. Okay, it disappeared. I gotta go to the, go upstairs to admin just to see if I have a... No, I shouldn't have an impound fee because I went through the... the elevator floor. I'm just checking, just to be sure. Admin, where's admin? Let me see if admin's on this floor. Uh-oh, interact mode, there we go. Ship weapons, admin, there we go. Stick a pin in it. Set route. All right. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. When it works, it's great. Downstairs. NPCs are traversing really nice. Let's see if I had any fees or anything. Just checking. Yeah, some I've heard about that Ascendant, that, you know, I think WoW or what, oh no, it's what is that game? Something Part 2. It's not Halo. 07 Coffee. It's not Halo. It's what is that game? The shooter. They do server wipes on preset schedules. No, not Tarkov, but they probably do Coffee. It's the other one. It's the shooter. It's like a sci-fi shooter. Oh gosh, Part 2. Oh man. Oh boy. Very popular. And it's online based. Now I gotta look it up. Destiny. Destiny 2 does it. Yeah, that's it. Destiny. Yeah, they do scheduled server wipes. That keeps the health up. But see, that's the thing, Ascendant. This is the unique thing about Star Citizen. Supposedly, yeah, they could probably say, Kimmy, you totally got this wrong, dude. But Tarkov gets stupid just before white people have so much loot. Oh my gosh. Dynamic server meshing is sort of, it's doing a perpetual server wipe without wiping your data, and nothing matters. Oh, it's just what is that movie where they do the killing and it's legal? Coffee. What is that? It's legal to do it, and now they made a series of those. What the heck are those? What is that called? For the 07. 07, sir. What is that? Oh my gosh, what is that movie called? The Purge. Yeah, it's basically Tarkov becomes the Purge. Basically. Yep, the Purge. But yeah, I mean, supposedly, from my understanding of server meshing, dynamic is that you get all of that. You basically get server wipes because Clive Johnson brought that up, man. Let me see if I can bring him up, man. I wanna bring this up because maybe I'm far off the beaten path on this, but maybe I'm far off from the beaten path. Maybe I'm not. Let's see here. I just want to bring it up a bit because we're on the cusp of it. It's gonna happen. They've been working on it. Hold on, let me cue it up. He talked about it years ago, Clive Johnson. Yeah, a lot could have changed. But when you go back, he talks about the authority and but you know what? You know what brings it back into the true perspective? Let me take it to Benoit. Benoit Beauséjour. I want to bring it up. I think every now and then it's good to bring it up. But I want it to come from the horse's mouth. There's so many videos on this, man. People just chiming in on it. Holy smokes. But let me go to the one with Benoit. Sometimes it's good to just bring it back. Every now and then to refresh it. And that way when they introduce, finally we'll get to introduce it. Okay, let's see here. Let me just say his name. Is this it? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, this is the video. This is a good one. This is coming right from CIG. And I don't think much has changed, or things have changed as much.
The concept of server, which has been ingrained since the beginning, has changed to become a mesh of servers.
So how do we solve this? The answer should be simple. Hi, my name is Paul Reindl and I'm the Director for Online Technology here at CIG. I wanted to take this year's CitizenCon as an opportunity to give you some insight into our exciting persistent streaming and server meshing technology. In this talk, I will cover a quick overview of the current streaming and server architecture and how we plan to transform the existing tech into what we call persistent streaming and server meshing. I also have Benoit Beauséjour with me, who later in the talk will give you more insight into the graph database that is powering persistent streaming. Hey Ben, how's it going?
Hi Paul, hi everybody. I'm super excited to share some of the details about what the game services team at Turbulent has been working on to support the efforts to build this technology and make it a reality for you guys.
Cool, let's get started.
This is a breakdown.
Before we look into persistent streaming and server meshing and how this new technology will work, let's have a brief look at entity streaming and how our solar system is set up. Each solar system can be seen as one giant level, containing every single object inside the solar system. From the sun to the Ventura rock, standing as one large map. Since this is a lot of data, the setup is split up into a hierarchy of nested object containers, which can be streamed in and out individually. If you look at an abstract view of Stanton, it all starts with one solar system root object container. This object container contains the sun, the planets, and the moons around each planet. Each of those locations then has its own object container, and if you take a closer look at a moon, you will find the entities placed around the moon inside this object container. For example, a space station orbiting the moon. This setup keeps repeating. The space station could be set up via multiple rooms, each defined by its own object container. Additionally to the static hierarchy of object containers, there are also all the dynamic entities which bring the universe to life. NPCs, an interactive vending machine, and of course players and spaceships. Most of these entities are made of a hierarchy as well. For example, a player has his body, an undersuit, and armor attached to it, and they are all child entities of the player. The streaming system treats these mini hierarchies as streaming groups to make sure that an object like a spaceship is always streamed in as one unit. Loading the entirety of Stanton into memory and simulating every single entity would be very expensive, especially on the client, but also on a single server.
Here we go.
That's why we developed entity bind culling and object container streaming, which allows us to stream object containers and streaming groups individually. When the game server starts, all entities and object containers within the solar system are loaded into local memory of that game server. These entities are not streamed in, we just store the initial state in server memory. When a player connects, we create a so-called streaming bubble around that player, and object containers as well as streaming groups that are visible from the player's point of view are considered inside this bubble. Any object container that is inside the bubble will stream its content, And any streaming group within the bubble will also be streamed in on the server and then replicated to the client. Entities are considered inside the streaming bubble if their projected screen size on a virtual 1080p plane is larger than 5 pixels based on distance to the player. So while a large object like a moon will be considered inside the bubble from far away, a small object like a ship will only be considered inside when it's much closer to the player. When the player starts moving across the universe, entities that leave the streaming bubble will become unbound, and the replication layer will remove these entities from the client. Entities that enter the streaming bubble will get bound to the client, which caused the network layer to replicate these entities to the client, effectively streaming them in. We call this technique entity bind culling because streaming on the client is driven by the network layer, binding and unbinding entities. If entities are not in any client streaming bubble, so no players in their vicinity, these entities are also streamed out on the server. They go back into a dormant state where they are not simulated. This model works quite well on the client, however it doesn't scale well on the server. While we do stream entities on the server with no players close to them, the poor distribution of players will cause the DGS to load most entities, and the more clients we try to match to a given game server, the likelihood of a player being at every single location increases. And that basically nullifies the benefit of server-side streaming. So how do we solve this? The answer should be simple. Allow multiple instances of the game server to work together so they can split up the work. Well, it's not quite that simple. Let's have a look at the current architecture. As of today, we have a traditional client-server architecture. One instance of a dedicated game server serves up to 50 clients. This is called instance, as the dedicated game server has its own instance view of the persistent universe. Once the server is full, we start a new server instance, which then serves additional 50 players. As we've seen before, when a DGS instance is created, it loads a unique version of the Stantum system into its local server's memory. Therefore, each dedicated game server instance has a unique copy of every single object that's part of Stanton. As these entities only exist in the memory of the game server when the instance is shut down, these entities are deleted. The goal of server meshing is to allow multiple DGS instances to work together and divide simulation costs between each server in the mesh. In the best case, we can scale this to infinity by adding more nodes to the mesh. As we saw earlier, each server node stores the state of entities locally. If we want to mesh these servers together, we need to find an efficient way to synchronize state between each server. With our current architecture, depending on the vision of the simulation and the overlap, this would require a lot of synchronization points between each node. It's an exponential problem, as in the worst case, each node would need to talk to each other node in the mesh, severely limiting our ability to scale it. To solve this issue, we are separating simulation and replication. Instead of just meshing multiple dedicated game servers together and have them synchronize state between each other, we are introducing a new layer called replication layer. The replication layer has two major functions. It holds the state of every entity in memory and replicates the state to clients, but also to server nodes. I said server nodes because in this setup, the traditional dedicated game server becomes a game server node. This server node connects to the replication layer, very similar to a client, and only a subset of entities are replicated to that server node. Replication to server nodes is controlled by the network bind culling algorithm that we saw earlier, and is driven by streaming bubbles, and it works very similar to how it works on clients. The server node has certain streaming bubbles assigned to it, which will cause the replication layer to replicate entities from these streaming bubbles to the server node. Contrary to a player's client, a server node has the additional responsibility to execute server-side authoritative code for those entities, controlling AI, doing damage calculations, etc., etc. The result of this simulation is then written back from the server node to the replication layer, and from there it is replicated to all connected clients and other server nodes. Since streaming bubbles can overlap, entities may be replicated to multiple server nodes, exactly the same way how they are currently replicated to multiple clients if players are at the same location. To avoid two server nodes trying to simulate the same entity, only one server node can have authority over any given entity. And only that server is allowed to write entity state back to the replication layer. This is usually the first server node who replicated the entity, and other server nodes will only run client code on those entities. Basically, you can see a game server node as a client with authority to write the result of its local simulation back to the replication layer. Authority can transfer between server nodes. For example, if an entity leaves the streaming bubble of the current authoritative server, it is then transferred to the next server node that has this entity currently streamed in. Further, authority can be transferred between server nodes on demand in order to load balance the mesh. Since we now mesh multiple server instances together to simulate a shared state of the universe, we no longer call this instance, but instead we call it shard. A shard is still a unique version of the universe, and we still have multiple shards running in parallel. However, the server mesh will lift our current hard limit of 50 players, and it will enable us to steadily increase the number of players we can support within one shard. It will take some time, and in our first version of server meshing, we will still have a very similar situation as we have today, with quite a few shards running in parallel. However, this technology is going to enable us to start scaling the universe to become a true MMO experience. There are some fundamental differences between a shard and an instance, and for this we need to take a closer look at the replication layer and talk a little bit about persistent streaming. Previously, the entity state was held entirely in memory on the dedicated game server. And besides some selected persistent player items, all that state would be lost when the servers shut down or crashed. The replication layer is fundamentally different, as the entire state of the universe is stored within a graph database. We call this entity graph, and it's an evolution of the original iCache. When we create a new shard, the initial entity state of the universe is seeded into this database. This happens offline before we let player join the shard. When the shard comes online, the replication mesh caches the state from the entity graph. As players connect to the shard and as we start to spin up new server nodes, simulation begins and alters the state of the universe. The replication layer does not only replicate these state changes to connect players and server nodes, it also replicates the state into the entity graph. Since the entity graph is a persistent database, the state of the shard is never lost, and even if the shard is shut down, the state persists and can be resumed at a later time. Benoit is going to show you some more technical details about the entity graph.
Thank you, Paul. Get ready for a deep dive into the entity graph persistence database. The entity graph is our approach to persisting the game world. This is fundamentally different to what is happening today in the game, where only items you own are actually stored. Our objective is to be able to save the state of the replication layer, which includes all entities in a given universe shard, in order to provide a truly persistent world, where actions you take as a player can influence environments in the game world permanently. The entity graph, as the name implies, stores game data as a graph. This representation is native for the game engine because it is how internally those data structures the game uses are addressed and manipulated. Using a graph also has several advantages. We're basically storing and retrieving from a gigantic indexed list of nodes and edges, and those edges between those nodes are optimized in a sharded database. But in order to properly explain the system, we must first view the game world as the game engine sees it. Game objects are constructed of several game entities linked together in hierarchical structure. You can picture this as a tree, which is a specialized kind of graph. This is how the game engine holds and simulates the elements on screen as it is running the simulation. In a server meshing world, this is also how replicants hold the entities in memory for each of their assigned territories. For example, a ship is made up of several entities that make up different parts of the entire playable vehicle. Each part is parented to another entity until the root of the ship is reached. Each of these entity nodes holds properties with regard to what the entity represents in the game. The class of object it is, the item type, its legal owner, orientation, and of course its very precise physical location within the game world. Each edge in our graph qualifies the relationship to the parent. In the case of a vehicle, our edges store properties that tell the system which port is being used to attach the entity into the parent and what kind of attachment it is. An item port attachment, a zone attachment, many others. In a constellation, for example, The different major sections of the hull are entity nodes with edges to the ship root. We call this small graph of item an aggregate because it is a whole movable unit. The ship root in this case is called the aggregate root because it sits at the top of a logical object. You can think of what you normally call an item as an aggregate, with the aggregate root being the actual item you are talking about. For example, a first-person weapon with attached scope, mag clips, and laser sights is a small hierarchy of entities. We distinguish the aggregate roots from other nodes by giving it a label. Labels allow us to distinguish and rapidly look up and find nodes of a specific type, either when we retrieve parts of the graph or when we look up specific nodes. Those labels exist to allow correct reversal of the graph data when we query for specific things in the game world. Other labels include streaming groups, universe root, star system root. This allows us to really look up and index those types. But the tree depth doesn't stop there. Additional information is required for a fully functional ship. The insides of each of those structural entities have to be fleshed out. Object containers are the building blocks of how space division is achieved, which aggregates and what part of the hierarchy they're in. In fact, most major areas of ships are represented as OC entities attached to the ship root or another OC. The shape of this data actually takes in reality is driven by designers. Of course, then, each of those object containers also contain entity hierarchies as well, expanding to have the common static and dynamic entities you're used to playing with, like elevators, beds, guns, seats, gimbals, and others. In addition to object containers that make up the structure of the ship, other aggregates can also be attached within the hierarchy of our ship. For example, a rover parked in the cargo bay of our Connie will be attached as a sub-aggregate attached to your ship's cargo grid. Same goes for turrets, which are changeable and themselves expose item ports, allowing guns to be mounted. For each of those entity nodes, a snapshot document is also stored. This document contains all the runtime values, the game components attached to those entities. This data is the dynamic part of the model where game developers can persist variables on any entity in the game world according to the rules of the game component. For example, damage state and health data are stored within the snapshot document of those ship entities. Storing and retrieving data in graph form really have some awesome properties. It's a native structure to the game engine, so it gets loaded rapidly. It's very simple and effective to serialize and transport because it's just a list of nodes and edges. There are optimized databases that we can use that allow us to fetch entities recursively in a traversal rapidly, and the data set can be sharded across multiple database instances reliably. One key element here and one big advantage of having a graph data is also that we can reduce writes. So in order to reduce that, all the hierarchical changes that we need to do can be minimized. For example, if we want to a detach mutation command will detach an entity from the hierarchy. In this case, a single edge must be erased, which is a very inexpensive operation. A nice side effect of this is also that it's the same operation whether we're detaching a single entity or an entire aggregate. In both cases, the single edge must be erased in order to perform the detach. Rolling away in your stowed rover, detaching a gun from a replacement or for a replacement, or selling a turret becomes really a cheap operation to persist. That is good because that happens very frequently. Compared to a columnar approach where index columns must be maintained for every write, linking all objects to the aggregate root, this is really a great performance improvement. The same properties apply with the attach command, which will only have to create a single edge when rejoining items to the hierarchy, be it via attachment or parking another vehicle on a docking hub. The attach and detach commands are two of the many semantic commands that the Entity Graph API proposes, allowing to express a mutation to the graph. Other examples of the different commands are create, possess, transfer, stack, unstack, change location, change snapshot, bury, stow, and unstow. One important change, in addition, that comes about with the entity graph is also how mutations are applied to the database. Each mutation is composed of multiple commands which are executed in sequence but committed transactionally to the database. They either succeed together or fail and roll back together. This ensures that the changes to the graph are always consistent and no lost writes or errors can cause data corruption. For example, a mutation consisting of detach, transfer, and an attach commands would succeed only if all three commands are applied successfully. The system retrieves a constant ordered streams of mutation from the replicant scribes that are part of the replication layer and are enqueued in durable queues to ensure that no message is lost even if the service is unavailable or paused. It's important to understand that the graph does not only cover your ships and items, but the entire game world is made up this way. Your ship is actually attached to the zone host location you travel in. Your playing character is attached to your ship seat when you are piloting it, just like planets are attached to their star system routes. The game world, though, must exist in persistence before it can be replicated and mutated. This is part of a process called seeding, where a new database is created by the replication layer. It is during that process that millions of entities are initially created in a sort of a big bang. At this stage, every object container, every minor or major entity from planets to doorknobs are inserted into the entity graph in their default state. That is, the state that the designers decided was the initial state of the world. This process goes down from the universe root to the star system root, and into the different areas and planets, into their landing zone, their buildings, their rooms, down to the smallest possible entity. There are multiple types of entities that are created during this process. First are unstreamable entities, which make up the skeleton of the universe. Those are entities you do not get to see, but are part of and always present on every worker node in the mesh. It is by looking up unstreamable entities that the game world is able to stream in the other types of entities into your client and into the server mesh. It is from those entities that others' entities bloom. Static entities make up the game world that you cannot interact with. Most map objects that make up buildings like the Hurston Tower, rooms and walls of hospitals, or the bar at G-Lock are all made up of static entities. And the last type is dynamic entities. These are entities that you as a player can manipulate. A bottle on a bar, a door in a level, a ship component, everything you interact with when you're playing the game. Of course, during seeding, all object containers are also seeded as part of this hierarchy and inform the shape of the loadable subgraphs. The seeding process takes a couple minutes to complete. Once created, this newly seeded database represents a full dimension of the universe and will now persist as it is modified by players. As you play the game and go about with your ship, your playing character entity moves from location to location, getting attached to new zones as you travel. Your player aggregate is itself part of the Djang graph, and your location and state are persisted by the replication layer scribes to the entity graph of your given territory. When you interact with dynamic objects and their properties change, the state of that entity will not persist until this instance of the database is undeployed. There are, in fact, multiple copies of the universe that are seeded at a given time. We call those shards. Each shard is a unique copy of the game world, complete with all of its entities and unique states. Think of it as an alternate universe. Dynamic entities that have been modified in each dimension will have different states. The bottle on the bar was moved, or the door was destroyed, might not be in the same state between shards. This technique is a way to gain scalability as our player base grows. A single shard can grow to host multiple millions of entities. Even if each shard database is itself clustered and can grow substantially past a single machine, there is a point where multiple clusters are needed. As you join the persistent universe, the matchmaking system is getting retooled in order to select the correct universe shard for you to play on, using multiple data points like your friend's location, your active party, your last game session, and or which shards still have items on it that you own. This is to ensure as much as possible that you end up on the same shard you expect to be as a player. In order to provide a seamless game experience, it would be terrible if you lost items you used when you were in a given shard versus another, or if your character was bound to a shard forever. To alleviate this, the system includes the concept of stowed and unstowed entities. An item is considered unstowed when it is currently active in a shard database and being actively simulated on by the worker nodes of the replication layer. Stowed entities are player-owned entities that are stowed in inventory containers or location inventories. Those entities live in another database entirely, called the global database, a large clustered database that spans all shards. Aggregate roots in that shard are stored and linked with edges to inventory nodes, Any entity in a shard can have an inventory node in global for stowing things in it. For example, a box entity that is unstowed in a shard would have an inventory node in the global database to store its content. This allows to keep unsimulated entities in a non-shard specific database while keeping the live aggregate within the shard. As you transition between shards, your playing character gets unstowed into the selected shard. This process effectively moves your player aggregate data from the global database to the shard database. Your player entity now gets simulated by game worker nodes and is being updated at a regular rate as you play and move around the game world. Accessing items that are stowed, like a ship, from the ASOP terminal is basically reading the inventory contents of the global graph at your location. Same goes for personal inventories or cargo inventories. When you request a ship to be spawned, the system will unstow the ship onto a landing pad by submitting a shard mutation. Alternatively, when a ship gets despawned during parking at a rest stop, the ship gets stowed back into the global database, making it available for unstow in any shard. The global database is where all of your stowed items will live. Hero items will always be available for unstow in any shard if they are not already in use. The process of stowing and unstowing also helps to alleviate problems related to entity authority so that only game worker nodes in the right shard can update unstowed entities in that shard. This brings about a nice property of the server meshing and persistent streaming architecture in that the state of the entities that are being persisted transactionally during play, be it in a shard or global database through stowing, a single server crash, or 30K, should no longer result in item loss. This model also has a real scalability benefit that stems from the separation of the read-intensive workloads that are isolated to the global DB from the write-intensive workloads that are handled by the individual shard database. The global graph exists to provide seamless access to your belongings no matter what shard or alternate universe you're currently playing in. Okay, let's go back to Paul to learn about some of the benefits of the server meshing architecture.
Yeah, the first benefit is obviously the advantage that we don't have this issue of synchronization between different server nodes. Each server node has one single connection to the replication layer, which is used to push and get updates for entities of interest. The second advantage is that the same streaming and replication logic that we already use for clients can be applied to servers, and that server nodes will only stream in a small area, which will greatly increase performance. It also allows us to increase resilience down the road. As long as a client is connected to the replication layer, the client stays connected even if the server node crashes. In this case, the simulation for an entity may be stopped for a moment, but as soon as a new server comes online, the simulation will just continue. While the underlying tech is close to completion, there are some upcoming challenges that we need to solve before we can give that into your hands. The first version of this technology will contain a static server mesh. Instead of the fully dynamic mesh that we saw earlier, the static mesh assigns server nodes to predefined sections of the solar system. This will reduce the amount of authority transfer that game code has to address in this first release. There will also be a lot of challenges for the game services and game feature teams. Or maybe Benoit can give a little bit more.
Yeah, there are many parts of the game that are affected by this new server meshing architecture. So any gameplay features that has to rely on the concept of a server, right? Currently, when you connect to a game server, we know what match you're in. So to send messages and update to that server, we simply locate your active match and then send those messages out there. That concept needs to change because we now have a mesh to deal with. And so there are multiple game servers that need to receive this information. They need to be able to subscribe dynamically to it or unsubscribe dynamically to players transitioning through them. So you can imagine that this will affect things like missions that currently are spawned locally on the game server. These now need to be spawned globally within the shard and also persist their state. So all services that are attached to missions, whether it's the quantum system in the back end or the Quasar tools, need to now know about the concept of a shard. This also goes deep into like things that are mechanical, like getting global chat to work on a server. That concept now needs to be extended to the shard, where this will probably push us to implement this as a location-based chat, for example. And so many teams in the company now need to change their feature to take into account the meshing technology that's behind it, because the concept of server, which has been ingrained since the beginning, has changed to become a mesh of servers.
Yeah, exactly. So I also want to shout out to the network team who's working on the replication layer and the bind culling, as well as the persistent tech team who's working on the entity and object container streaming. And as Benoit said, also all the other teams that work on gameplay features or gameplay services that are affected by this new technology. There are a lot of devs working on this, and we are very excited to push on this new technology. Thank you for your time.
That's it. Now you see those global missions? It makes sense now. It makes sense. They are testing dynamic server meshing. You're like, what? Yep. The Onyx missions, the Stanton Microtech missions, all of those missions. Those marathon campaign-based missions that we're doing globally. And hello, Free Fly. That is player concurrency Free Fly. And how's that treating us right now? Arbiter, I never brought your name up, but I'm gonna bring your name up. And you know why? Because you spoke truth. You couldn't play the damn game, man. He said, there's this CIG. I can't get in the damn game. I'm gone for 2 weeks. What's changed? A lot has changed since then. And we see ships floating, Polarises free falling. Not falling, but floating. No one's in it because it's Free Fly. But yet, we were able to get on these servers, play these events. Some hiccups, yeah, we know that. But we see now that what's at fault is the coding has to be cleaned up. They have the architecture that will support it. So we've been testing dynamic server meshing all along, y'all. It's been right in our faces, but we haven't, up until now, we're kind of like, oh, wait a minute. That's a good point here. Global events, and that's part of what, hey, we have been testing dynamic server meshing. Now it's just a matter of what? They have to clean the code and get it into a state of where it's manageable. And then also you want to bring in Vulkan as well. CIG will become rich with dynamic server meshing. Banks, Wall Streets, they want that tech. Yeah, because of how you can take advantage of the less is more concept. You don't have to hit it with you don't have to go hardware crazy with servers anymore, right? Now you can virtually do this with processes and nodes, as as Benoit Beauséjour described. You're not writing code. It's not processing the code, but nodes that have specifics to those nodes. It's one of those things, Captain Steve, is you if you have specific instruction sets and you can turn those into, like you said, nodes of simple instructions, yeah, it's possible, right? Certain things will stay static, certain things will stay dynamic. Now, case point, the latest scuttlebutt that you've heard was that it's official, it's legal, but they said that, you know, there's a huge portion of Turbulent that is Montreal, CIG Montreal, right? And there's a small part that is still Turbulent, and then they are collectively working together as two entities, almost like an LLC, but not quite. I don't know that part of it, but they have investments within each other. But did you not hear that what the actual Turbulent branch is working on is they're actually working on websites for banks? Yeah. So if anyone that can make it work Turbulent and CIG Montreal. So their interests are intertwined. There's a synergy between their interests of what they can do. They will be the leading experts to determine that. So yeah, they're literally said that they're working. Turbulent is working on a database for a bank in Canada, I believe. So there you have it. So the technology can branch out into other aspects potentially. Whereas, Chris is adamant about, hey, look, man, I'm not looking to do a, monthly subscription with my game because I'm truly a gamer. Yeah, I made movies, I made games in the past, but I'm still that guy. So, I mean, yeah, we've been testing it. We've been actually testing it in all these different aspects. And I think when we seen the cases of no, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm closing it out. I'll be honest. I gotta get some food. I know that much. I only had breakfast today. I gotta get some food, and I think I'm gonna get some rest. I do, but there's this entirety of the weekend and Labor Day. I want to get up. I gotta take my car in for service tomorrow, but I want to get in early. If you guys are up for the Onyx mission, I want to continue that. I'm at 55K with those missions. I want to continue them, and I want that gun. Vickers got my gun. No, he knew what that gun was, and I saw it. I said, man, I gotta have that gun. You just closed out the cargo hauling. How was that? Thanks for testing dynamic server meshing, Captain Steve. There's the situation. DEFCON 1. It's just to say, y'all, that's taken over years. The Quartz SMG, Vic, thank you so much, brother. Thanks for letting me know that. I gotta have it, dude. Gotta hook me up. They did say that the coding would take would take some time, and as we've seen it with Free Fly, with missions, now that you heard them talk about AI in there. I don't know if you heard this, but with that Vulcan test, the build was holding things up, but what they really wanted to focus on, not so much of Vulcan, because Vulcan was really stable, but they wanted us to, well, oh boy, they wanted to test the NPC AI, and what did you did hear that with Benoit, so it's live long and prosper. So we're getting into now the spinning of this major change. I feel it's on the cusp of things are starting to take place, that things are coming to fruition, but it's been a long road because it's taken all those tests to get us in there, and guess what, to their point of what they've been doing, guess what, you've seen this, more and more people are getting into the game, and yet we're not saying this. Why aren't the servers not holding? Why are not the servers burning up and crashing? Yeah, it's like we're playing it like it went to the back of our minds and we've forgotten. What's wrong with us, man? Why are we not remembering this? More and more people getting into the game. We went from not so long ago from 50 to 100, but damn, man, 600, and it's sweet, right? It used to be 500. It would hurt. You would feel it. It's like, oh, these servers are crumbling, man. They were bursting at the seams. That 600 is easy. And then on top of that, you see the volumes of ships that are capital size in game, right? And now you're starting to see the volumes of NPCs on ground coming out of the woodwork on us. And they're kind of, yeah, there's some AI issues of they're pointing the wrong way, but but you're understanding and you're feeling the flow of them, that they are challenging, that we, and this is what I want to, once we get into this, man, I need us to stay closely, tightly together, because we're finding out now as we venture further apart, we notice we've been dropping, and then we're calling for medic. We need to get help, or we need to stay tighter in how we approach this now, because we're finding that it's taking, what we're doing is we're taking too long. And here's the context of what I'm saying. They've scaled these missions up well, let's say they've layered these missions. Now you're running the gamut now. You're running a marathon. And what I've been hearing lately from you all, man, this is a grind. These missions are a grind. And I'm like, oh, I finally finished, man. I finally finished. And I'm like, when did that start happening? When did that start becoming a thing? Now we're grinding. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you're playing the game? You're playing, right? You're playing the game, the grind. Yeah, man, I'm putting in work, man. I'm putting in work. I'm like, oh, you're playing it now, huh? Is that what it is? Okay. We're playing the game. Yes, you're playing the game. Why is that? You know. Now, knock, knock, knock. Hello. Yes. It's so, we gotta be careful of being so far in the rabbit hole in what's wrong. We gotta push back and have that clarity of like, yeah, we're starting. Wait a minute. Yeah, you're making good points here, dude. Yeah, eyes up, heads on the swivel, but keep a tight radius within each other. So if one goes down, we're within a few boots away, as opposed to down the corner, up the steps, or down the steps around the corner. And then here comes the waves sitting behind or in cover, waiting to ambush us. That's what we're running into, Arbiter. And I'm gonna say, what's wrong with staying in a tight radius? And this is the epiphany I had of this too. I know it's a video game, but for people to watch it, it's really cool to see it play out as though it's simulated. Work with me, man. Ride with me here. It's really cool to see it play out as a movie, because that's kind of like the theory or the anthem of Squadron 42. And let's put it in context. I'll use the analogy of Aliens, right? Perfect example. The Marines came in, guns blazed. Yeah, we'll kick ass, man. Yeah. Let's go. And they were dying in sections of that damn space station, or that base. They were over here. You had a couple there. That guy, and they were all over the freaking place. And that's the perfect analogy of the movie Aliens, and how I want to move away from that kind of feel for it. And if let's take it in context of what they're trying to do with Star Citizen is you're kind of cosplaying this like what if type of deal. Like, what would it be like if we had enough common sense to work together with each other, and we advance even further than imagined, that we actually get into a ship and get past the solar system and find out, whoa, wait a minute, what's out here? We're not gonna be running off in these places like, I'm gonna go check it out. No, we're gonna be like, hey man, you stay close, right? We stay close. We pace this thing. That's how you would play it out in real life. I would love to see that. But the other side of that is people watching it. It looks cool, man. It looks like it's a movie or something, right? Robert says it's intense. Worm mission is also very intense. The organization is key. Yeah, organizing, and that's the thing, Arbiter. These numbers. My point is this: these numbers we've seen these numbers ramp up. Now, what's going to happen with dynamic? And now we're going to be introduced to orgs. We're going to be introduced to party crashers. I call them party crashers. We're kind of seeing a little bit of that now, but you may have to engage while engaging through the mission, which is a very different dynamic with an MMO. I mean, in the sense of a raid is everybody jump in, but let's say you're in a situation like you're saying with the worm. We got to identify, we got to communicate, we got to see as a collective to say, hey, there's hostiles, eyes alert, eyes 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and engage while engaging or defending or back away. And, you know, it's strategic, tactical. And that's what we got to bring to the table, because it's going to happen, man. I see it. It's about to happen, Arbiter. It's about to happen. It's happening now. But, dude, I want to play, but I'm freaking tired. I've been tired. I want to get some rest. But please be available. I don't know if I'm going to get up tonight and take a nap. But please, guys, be available. Explicit to your directions. No, it's muscle memory. I think it's just buying in on the narrative and applying the common sense to it and the approach of we're simulating it. I think, Fenrir. Some people don't need it. Some people it needs to be reiterated, unfortunately. But it's just to not to be under the assumption, right? But it's just to say let's make it happen. That's all. And just say, let's see it in this light. Let's try it that way, as opposed to a free for all, because I think it's the storm's coming, and I think the player counts are going to exponentially escalate or climb, increase, as well as the intelligence of the NPCs. It's going to get to a point where you won't know in regards to how lethal, well, let's say NPCs being as lethal as practiced and organized squad members and orgs walking through encasing places and doing an op. It's gonna, those variables are gonna be almost in a synchronous on a synchronous level. When you talk about when they really start dialing in these NPCs, you're not gonna be running off. We're not gonna be separated as much. We're gonna be in a collective cluster and sweep and clear and acknowledge and communicate, because then it's gonna be at a point. Dude, I was looking in the room and I had multiple times that a sniper had me dead to right, and one literally pulled the trigger. And I was like, yikes. I saw it like it was like in slow motion. I kid you not. And I said, wait a minute. This isn't just a coincidence. It's not. So how do you know this? What are you using as evidence or proof of what you're saying? I don't understand. What do you have as proof when I'm watching and I'm seeing what they're doing and I'm seeing instances of it happen, but not consistently, but I'm seeing it and they're practicing it, and this is the first time we've actually seen game development on this level, period, if any at all. I mean, it's like in the culinary world, you have chefs, you have bakers. It's a huge world, but it's all under the same umbrella, and there's specific disciplines. But yeah, this is the first time any of us outside of a developer has had experience developing. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a choice. So, you know, but I'm not forcing anything on anyone. but I rather play it that way, which is a choice. Yeah, WoW doesn't. WoW does nothing for me except have me see pretty crayon colors. It doesn't speak to me in the sense that CIG speaks to me because of its immersion, its level of detail, its quality. To me, it looks like kids having fun with WoW. I don't resonate with it, unfortunately. Wish I could, but I don't resonate with it. But Star Citizen, the visuals, the approach, the way the sausage is made, yeah, that really speaks to the tech side of me, as well as the discovery and the interest. It inspires me, and then you combine that with the community. That's where I'm at. And like you said, the people participate in the RP. That's why we have so many different games for different genres, and it's nothing wrong with that. Not sure what you mean about most of that go away once they release 1.0. If anything, it goes away because it's gotten better. If it's a feature or something related to gameplay, it's only ramping up to get better. I mean, open development. I mean, it's all at the end of the day, it's open development to show proof that, hey, your dollars are being spent for a purpose to bring to the table something we never seen or experienced before. And I think once they get to that platform of 1.0, then proof is, what's that saying? Proof is in the pudding. Then they don't need to do that anymore. Then it's just off to just being a closed door publishing, development software company, because then they've made that goal of saying we've kickstarted. Now we're a platform, and I think that's fair because we've played the hell out of this since, I don't know, 2014 or so, or the concept was in our heads. But I don't think they need to keep everything open and open and open all the time. Once they get to a platform of release, it's fair to say just keep doing what you're doing. And I think it comes down to the choice of, do you want to back it, or do you want to say, hey, sell me those ships, I'll take them off your hands, or I'm going to hold on to my ships, and when I see something else a major leap, go for it. But I think people are just going to play it, and generally speaking, they're just going to continue to play. I think there's always the ear in the speech and conversation with the community and the connection with the community. They come with good ideas, and they come up with ways to say, hey, this is what will keep it interesting. I think they have a level of what do you call procedural generation, and I kind of talked about this the other day, is that they get to a point of 10, 15 systems, 20 systems. We don't know what that looks like, but that's a lot of planets and systems. But they also converge off or go, left or right at the fork of the road, and actually procedurally generate something that they don't even have to. Speaking of which, they can make that their advantage and not talk about it at all, and you discover it, and there it is, and no one's saying anything. And then what's encased in that system is alien life that you don't know about, or encounters that no one gave you the cheat sheet for, right? And then you encounter, and then all of a sudden, hey, this is actually exploration. And it's to say that it's the saying, it's the true saying, artistic license is basically you can pretty much write or have your own opinion of what you see or what you do, and if it's art or if it's what do you take from it positive, that's artistic license to say I can interpret it this way. And I think that's what you can say about how they can develop down the road, which is so unique and different from other companies, is that they have a creative edge. They're not on rails, they're not on a train track, they're not beholden to how a person should, you know, say this is how you need to make your game. It's basically, if it works, great. If it don't work, hey, I can clean that up and try this. They've shown they've done that. They've worked through their mistakes. They've gotten better. Is it perfect? No. The potential is what keeps us here and has been the staple of why we're still here and why the game is growing to this, up until this day and this hour. It's still growing. But knowing that they have that artistic license of creativity, which is so unique, I think there's a lot of space of conversation of them creating procedurally generated worlds, and then they decay, or there's a event horizon that takes them out, which is an event in itself, and you're rediscovering. I think Chris would go to that point of creating these worlds because he's a mad scientist when it comes to gaming, making stories, filmmaking. He's blending all these skill sets, but at the heart of it, he's still a kid, this is great for us. This is great for us. He's still that kid, and he will always be that kid. Genius. Kid genius. No doubt about it. He's a freaking kid genius. I saw No Man's Sky. Its newest version is really good, but I'm good here. It's more elite. They both do that, Femra. They both do procedural generated planets. Yep. They both do. Yep. So No Man's Sky has come a long way, man. I'm double taking. I'm like, whoa. I would say, in just my opinion, I would say it's right under Star Citizen, then Elite Dangerous. I don't kid you not, man. I've seen the latest of No Man's Sky, and I'm like, man, have they turned that around or what? That just shows as an example, as things evolve, and I think that's Robert Space Industries, Cloud Imperium Games can also have that same space and time to do even more with Star Citizen. Just what No Man's Sky has done. They can do it on a totally different level. But no, I haven't played them either, but there's another game of theirs too that they're coming out with, No Man's Sky. It's like this planet is like one giant world. It's fantasy based, and to me, if I compare that with WoW, that blows WoW away as far as visuals. Now, I don't know about gameplay, but the visuals, wow. And again, that's just my taste. That's just my opinion. It doesn't make it gospel. It doesn't. But yeah, man, I think we've been testing Dynamic. I think now it's just them tweaking the code and getting everything right and putting everything in order to where it needs to be. But I think there's going to be some interesting things. But I talked about this earlier today. We gotta, speaking about tapering our expectations. 2-hour show that only says they are working on Squadron 42. No matter how we feel about where they should be with the persistent universe, they are working on Squadron 42. Hence why it's a 2-hour show. So we shouldn't get ourselves set up for disappointment because they're working on Squadron 42. That's what we have to cement in our minds and our expectations and these hopes of, well, you know, and this is me talking to me. Man, I want to see dynamic server meshing. I want to see NICs. We getting the Ironclad. They're working on Squadron 42. That's it. Gameplay is more important than visuals, in my opinion. That's why WoW has felt so good for so long. The base gameplay is rock solid. I don't dismiss that. I've seen the Nintendo outshine a lot of so-called great PC games, and based on its gameplay and functionality, there's something to be said about both aspects, and one can't go without the other. That's just to say. And when one lacks the other, it shows, and it's evident, it's obvious, right? Because of late, this is why we have a Cloud Imperium games. We've been seeing way too many games that have these beautiful visuals and were so one-dimensional in its gameplay that the Nintendo 8-bit could beat that out. And it's like the industry just got caught up in this, the graphics, the fidelity, and it was just limp on release day. But I think it's a combination of everything, and I think they're what I love about their efforts is that they want that in parallel. They want the fidelity, they want the gameplay, and they also want our interactions and opinions and object opinions involved in this too, because it's gotten to the point now that Chris had a narrative of quality that he was looking for, and he was steadfast and very, I don't want to say rigid, but he was holding on to what the standard was at that time. But as they moved through the process, he became more trusting, because now the developers shared his vision, and in some instances inspired him even more because they were inspired. So I think they strive for that, right? That's the thing. That's the thing of the potential, and why it still persists is its potential. And they get to redo, they get to reiterate, they get to improve, and it's not static with them. That's what I love. That's the essence of what I see with Star Citizen, is that its narrative is always evolving. They always look to get better, right? I'm not gonna say a higher standard. They look to get better, because they're creating a standard. They stumble a little bit, they skin their knees, but they're running and trying to catch that standard. Yeah, I think Star Citizen is more than just an MMO, and I think to box them in as an MMO, I think we're only seeing, we're not allowing all aspects of it to come out and let it be what it is intended to be, because you could say, hey, it's an MMO, and then someone can at the same time say, hey, this is the Space Nerds game. This is about the space sci-fi experience, right? Some could say, man, this is about the space flight sim for the very first time. A space flight sim gives you dual stick precision flying, and then another one said this is about the true exploration ultimate game for PC, to be able to seamlessly travel to different worlds. So you have a context that is a part of what Star Citizen is, but it doesn't culminate to what it is in its totality. No. A portion that you're able to reflect and give your opinion, and then it's a collective of that. And I think that's a beautiful thing, but it's not the all and end all in that kaleidoscope or that universe, as Chris described it as. It used to be the best damn space sim ever, and then he himself evolved it to the best damn, what is it, chat? The best damn space sim universe, or universe sim. He went universal with it. He went best damn space universe instead of a space sim. He encompassed it. But it's so many things. And to say it's still on the table of becoming an MMO. It's still pushing forward to become an MMO. We're still waiting for the dynamic server meshing, but we're actually testing it. It sounds restrictive, but he said it himself back then that the technology is there. I wouldn't bank against him to say that it's not when we keep seeing improvements. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't bet against him. He's a madman. But they're finding alternatives. Like we just saw the video that there's bind culling, there's sharding. They're dissecting it down to fractional pieces. They're going into the microcosm of it. They're not trying to go full scale with huge computers and hardware breaking everything down. They're actually creating multiple instances, as they stated in the video. So it's one of those things where you have a vision of this way when the vision is this way in certain instances. And that's the beauty of it too, the process. I think a lot of us miss out on the process when we're just focused on the finish. And sometimes in life, you just got to be able to enjoy the journey. And I think that speaks a lot on life, it speaks a lot on success. It speaks a lot on how we obtain and grow. It's about the journey. And I think that's the cool thing with the community as well, because I'm sure Chris would say to you, I had no idea that this community would be more than what it is, in the sense of who they are, where they come from, how they come together collectively. It's amazing. Well, they talked about shards. They talked about, Benoit mentioned that it's coding versus nodes, right? He said the nodes is the future. It's quicker transfer. Now it's just a matter of cleaning up code and merging it into nodes. He just said that. And simplifying things. They're also, they're also bringing into the big picture Maelstrom, the Maelstrom system. But they're finding ways to simplify things. I don't know. I think the latest, Avenger 1 was saying some good things about the flight model recently. I was like, whoa, what? He said, there's hope. And look at his latest video. he's turning the corner, and it's like, hey man, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, I mean, Benoit Beausejour, I don't debate you what you learned, but I like what this dude is doing. I can't sit here and speak on what he's doing. I can just sit here and watch him like hours and hours and hours. If it was just him talking about everything Citizen Con for the whole 2 hours, I'm good with that. I have no problem with Benoit Beausejour. I think he's moving the needle to the right without a doubt. I think I can't sit here and criticize what he's doing. I can just bask in greatness, man, and see that this is a genius knowing another genius, and geniuses is working together. I'm like, holy smokes, this is awesome. Oh, it's more than it inspires me. It's more than interesting. It inspires me, man. I think it shows where the rubber meets the road and how the industry has been just doing this dirty, man. The industry has been doing this dirty. Thank you, Chris Roberts. Thank you, Benoit Beausejour. You know, that's it, man. I'm calling it, man. I'm calling it like it is. Thank you guys for showing that technology is further down the road than we think. And they've culminated younger people, their peers, and they're think tanking things, man, and they're pushing the narrative. I love it. Money well spent over here. But dudes, dudettes, I gotta get something to eat. I'm tired, but we can get in game tomorrow. I would love to get back in tomorrow night, but man, I gotta get some rest. I've been burning the candles on both ends, man. I've been running the gamut. It's just, and I think the one thing that keeps me sane and just enjoying myself is this right here, and talking with you all and spending time and just enjoying. But yeah, I'm in rest mode, but at the same time, I get to get back into the verse and see what's going on. But yeah, they're moving, man. They're getting things done. So I'm just saying, take a deep breath and just listen, hear what's going on, and observe. Go back, look at the tapes, and see, man, it's hiding in plain sight, y'all. It's hiding in plain sight. I would not be surprised. You hear it first. We might be seeing dynamic server meshing sooner than you think. Heard it here first. But Hardy 07, y'all. As always, thankful. Appreciate you all. 07s, y'all. I'm gonna get a bite to eat. I don't know. Don't count me out that I may not come back. I may come back. Don't count me out. But we got to do that mission, y'all. 07s, everybody. We got to do that mission. Let's go, Arbiter, Fender, Fimra. Let's go, people. You got to get your PC, man. Stop playing with us, man. And congrats, Isendit, on the grandkid. Yeah, we got to finish it, man. Yes, sir. Always a pleasure. Good debate, too. I love it. Yes, sir. Yes, let's get that Onyx, man. I gotta hang it. Vic, I need that weapon, Vic. I need it. It's green, baby. It's green. Crew, where you at? Come on, crew. Get in the game. Stop playing, man. I promise I see you some a Vegemite, some Vegemite, man. Come on, get in the game. Stop playing, man. 07, y'all. 07s.